Go.
Hello guys, how are you? Greetings from Hack the Box. I am Soti, aka Red Runner. I'm the community manager. Very happy to have all of you here. Today we are very excited for this. It is our first Hacking Battlegrounds live tournament, and we have two awesome guests to do this whole presentation. Let's start first with IppSec.
Hey guys, I'm IppSec. If you don't know who I am and you managed to find the stream, first of all, congratulations. I have no idea how you got here. Maybe it's from one of many John's followers who is all the way to the right of me.
Exactly. And together we have today also JohnHammond. We thank you very much for being our guest of honor today in order to chat, in order to have fun, in order to interact with everyone. Please, all of you, leave questions here in the chat. If you do also leave any questions with hashtag giveaway, all of the questions will be added and I will pick them. IppSec and John will reply to them. And of course, you get a chance to win 10 of you a monthly VIP Plus subscription. And thank you very much for tuning in. We do not take it for granted. I hope everyone is doing amazing during these difficult times. And we hope to have fun today with all of you and make you smile and learn a lot of stuff. And of course, always have fun. I will start now with presenting our brackets. So first of all, I would like to thank for the tournament today. We gathered 16 players. Those 16 players are not any players of HTB, are one of the best Hack the Box players and Battlegrounds players. The ones that have the most plats, the ones that have won the most the most tournaments, the ones that have submitted amazing content. So we gathered all those amazing hackers with us, and they're going to battle between them. We are going to do the live draw of the brackets of how they will play. And yes, we do not take any of you for being here for granted. Thank you very much for coming to play with us. Of course, I have to do a huge shout out to Synack. Synack is our sponsor for our event today. We are giving, Synack is giving amazing prizes. We are giving money to the first and the second for the ones that are going to finals, total 7K. We are giving some Razer gift cards. We have Hack the Box subscription. We have swag. So all of our prizes are 7K total. And of course, it is by the awesome Synack, our amazing sponsors. So thank you very much for being here today. And now I will start presenting our amazing players. So today we have, first of all, Snowscan, the notorious. Snowscan is one of the omniscient players of HTB. Actually, he might be now top one out of like how many? We're almost 600K people. He is 354 days part of HTB, so he is one of the oldest. Of course, with him, his teammate is InfoSecJack. He's also an omniscient, 1,041 days part of HTB. We have also Celesian. He's a guru, 794 days part of HTB. One of the notorious hackers of Battlegrounds. He has won many tournaments. And also from the Birds Aren't Real. Oh yes, I didn't mention that Snowscan and InfoSecJack are from the top one team of HTB, the A team, the notorious A team. Celesian and JazzPizazz are both guru and from the Birds Aren't Real. Currently ranked 3 team in HTB. Next to them we have MyDonut and Szymex, that team. MyDonut is hacker, Szymex is guru. And sorry if I do not pronounce any username incorrectly. And both are top players of Battlegrounds. The same for Sebas and Cashflow, or his previous username was Mr. Know-It-All. Well, Cashflow used to play on tournaments alone and just happened to be on the 3rd place. And Sebas also, he's an amazing hacker. Both create a very strong hacking couple. Cashflow is a pro hacker and Sebas is a guru. And then we go to Bobby. Bobby is a guru. again, and Yakuhito, who is an elite hacker. Both of them have participated in I believe from the 5th and 6th and 4th maybe tournament, Hacking Battlegrounds tournament that we do every month. Then we have Hodgen and Ch4rm. Hodgen is the only hacker who is in this tournament as a rank, and he has done some amazing achievements in Hacking Battlegrounds tournaments. Ch4rm is a pro hacker, and with Hodgen they're teammates. We have Ch4rm and Enox, Ch4rm is a guru, Enox is a lead hacker, and they have won actually most of the tournaments. And then we have Legacy, who is a pro hacker, and Ch4rm, who again is a pro hacker, and they have participated in many HDB tournaments, and they have submitted content. Also, Legacy is a Discord moderator, and thank you all of you for being here. It was amazing, like organizing this whole tournament till now. I want to say congratulations to the players. You're already winners because yes, you already have prizes just for participating, but also because you are part of HDB and helping us create so amazing content. So now it is time to do the live raffle. Are you ready, guys? Drum roll. Cool. So as you can see here, my screen, everything is pretty much ready, but we're going to press this powerful button that is going to raffle everything. And yeah, let's do it in 1, 2. John, give me the 3.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was counting 3.
Cool. And now we have our first brackets. We have Bobby and Yakuhito against Celesian and JazzPizazz. We have MyDonut and Szymex against Snowscan and InfoSecJack. Cool. We have Ch4rm and Enox against Sebas and Cashflow, and Hodgen and Ch4rm against Chaotic and Ch4rm. So, guys, good luck. Have faith. You're going to do amazing either way. And I'm going to drop now and give you the private codes to enter the tournament. Bye, Nick. Bye, John.
Take care.
Have an amazing tournament.
So I guess it's just us, John.
Uh-oh.
You never introduced yourself, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, hey. Well, hey, thanks so much. Thanks for letting me come hang out with everyone. Yeah, my name is John Hammond. I'm I guess, fellow YouTube content creator. I love to hang out on Hack the Box, love to hang out on a lot of cybersecurity training and war game practice ranges, stuff like that. So super excited to be here at this tournament. This is going to be an incredible live stream, and I'm really awesome that we get to hang out. Like, I think it's been some time. It's good to be with you again.
Yeah, I mean, I remember maybe like 4 years ago, you came down to my area. It was like a Sands tournament, and we decided to crash Net Wars and play it. Like, that was a fun day.
Oh, that's been awesome. I'm super excited just to get back in it with B-sides coming up, with everything that's, I don't know, stuff coming back together. I'm sure we can get together and party again.
Yeah. So again, big thanks to Synac for sponsoring this tournament. And before working with Synac, Hack the Box does their candidate vetting portal right now to be a part of SRT. But however, before working with them, I had no idea what Synac actually was. Do you have an idea, John?
So I guess from my understanding, I always saw Synac Red Team pop up. Like, that was the thing. And I thought oh, that's super cool. Is it sort of a bug bounty that's not a bug bounty? It's like a vulnerability disclosure program. What's the deets, really? Yeah,
so that was my reaction. I mainly knew about them from parties because I'm not a big bug bounty person. And that was my reaction. Oh, it's just a private bug bounty program. But it's a little bit more. They have VPNs that can go into client networks, and they put trusted people on those. So you're doing more than just web penetration testing, because hacking is often more than just web. You have infrastructure, you have mobile, there's just a bunch of other things. And it's really scary to put your infrastructure out to everyone in a bug bounty program. So Synac kind of filters trusted people to that area for it, which I thought it was really cool. And then
I think that's awesome.
The other thing, like, I got snuck into is they invited me to like the Synack Red Team chat, and there's just so much coordination there. It was amazing. Like, people are talking about vulnerabilities. Like, I kind of have this LFI, but I haven't found a way to get code execution because this, and this is blocked. Is there anything I'm missing? And then people just kind of chime in and help out, which, I mean, community stuff is just amazing to see that collaboration.
That is super cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. So a little bit about this event. It is going to be the Cyber Mayhem. So it's attack and defend. So we're going to get to see all these top players both attack and defend. I guess it's self-explanatory. Everyone gets the same 2 machines. The quarterfinal, well, we're starting with quarter semifinal. They're going to be 2 unique machines per round, and then the finals is going to have 4 machines. They're going to be 2 new machines and 1 machine from each of the previous rounds to see how well these players are taking notes so they can go in and patch things quickly because everyone gets the same set of machines. So the goal is you log in your machine, find the vulnerability, patch it while attacking the other machine, and it's only 30 minutes, so it's really fast.
And a quick note, I guess, kind of from our side, like us as commentators, us as narrators, we haven't seen anything about these boxes. We have no idea what the players are up against. So we're all going in blind. This is totally new for us.
And there's a slight delay on the stream. I believe it's 2 minutes. So players can't just like get hacked and then turn on the stream and find out what happened. So that's good. And because it's a 2-minute delay, like, it is such a pain to try to listen to something and hack at the same time. So I don't think there's going to be too much of that going on, especially because all these players are trusted veterans. Like,
good sports.
Celesian has played in the UHC Ultimate Hacking Championship, I believe it is. It's a weekly tournament, kind of like this. I'm on it a lot, and John's been on it. But I think there's been 34 or 37, somewhere in like the mid-30s range, and Celesian has like 10 wins. He's won like a third of the time. And keep in mind, it's a weekly event. So some weeks he just doesn't play. So yeah, it's amazing seeing these people hack. And looking at the brackets, it's going to be a really good show because we have Celesian and Snowscan potentially meeting up in the quarterfinal or semifinals if they both win. And then we'll see who makes it to the grand finals. And the winners of this also get fast-tracked into the Synack SRT program to become Synack Red Team, among getting a bunch of money. I forget exactly what the prize pool is per player for first place, but it was definitely considerable.
I think the total was like 7,566.
Yeah.
And don't quote me, I might be wrong, but I think first place was like 2,000.
Yeah, I think it was 2,000.
Anyway, it's an absolutely incredible lineup. Celesian's in the mix. I saw Szymex in there. JazzPizazz, I've seen kind of them around for NomCon CTF or kind of other events that I've been a part of. So some like strong hard hitters in this. This is going to be an incredible game.
Yeah. And the match hasn't started yet. It'll probably start in like 15 minutes. So we still got some time to kill. How this generally works is all the players join a Discord server and then share their screen to that Discord. And then me and John can hop around to show their screens. We're going to focus on one game at a time. So we'll jump between both teams' screens, seeing the players, seeing exactly what they're doing. Right now, we can see like all the players prepping. I thought about if I can sneak a quick peek in. We just got confirmation the players got their codes. So if you look, there's Snowscan Screen right now. He is connecting. I just hit it because I don't know what he's doing, but you can see kind of how they start. He has 3 tabs open, a TMUX session, or maybe that's Terminator. I actually think he's using Terminator, not TMUX. I think, John, you use Terminator, right?
Yeah, I'm a Terminator fanboy, I'll be honest. I love that I can just quickly split the screen and the mouse kind of functions and behaves normally. TMUX just does stuff that I'm not immediately used to.
Yeah, the mouse
so I like
is the big one. My big thing with TMUX is I'm used to being able to like run TMUX in an SSH connection and then exit the SSH and leave it up. I don't know if Terminator does that.
It does not, by no means. And TMUX can do so much cool stuff with between selecting text and like keeping it all in a buffer. So your copy and paste, once you kind of get used to it, it's much better than what Terminator can do. But hey, I think it's awesome. I see Snowscan using like this O prefix. I'm not exactly positive what he might have that set to.
I don't know. I think that's maybe Nmap. So if you guys are curious, I can show this real quick, potentially. Is it? No. Hold on.
I'm driving blind because we got the 2-minute delay.
Yeah.
I'm just in the same boat as all you players, except you're the ones kind of in a lion's den here. So
we can see Snowscan start. He has like his OpenVPN connection, some extra panes, looking at his IP address, and also has /start.sh. So I'm going to hide Snowscan Screen, and then we're going to look at other players, see what they're doing. So let's see. Do you see anything interesting hopping around, John?
Not quite yet. I'm hovering over them to kind of get the Discord preview, and some folks are just like looking at their desktop.
Yeah, this is like the big determination factor of who has done this before. Because I remember the first time we got you into a Net Wars, you were like, it happens with everyone. You like, the event starts and you're like, how do I exit Vim? I forgot everything. Oh, wait, I'm in Nano now. How do I exit Nano? Like, you just don't know anything as soon as the event starts. It is super common.
But it's crazy to see some folks like starting that tooling, starting that setup. Like we saw it with Snowscan. I think I see it in Hojan. I might be mispronouncing that name, but like terminals being split, like prep MSF console, Burp Suite's up and running. They just got ready to roll. They're just kind of off to the races once the thing gets started.
Yeah. And it looks like almost most people that are prepping just have a bunch of windows open, ready to like type the IP addresses for Nmap, which I find a little bit funny because again, this is a like purple-ish team because you can SSH into your own machine. So there's no reason to run Nmap because you can just log in and type netstat or SS and get all the ports. It's much quicker.
That's true. And you're going to see the stuff that's kind of like running locally on that box. If for whatever reason that might come in need for maybe a Privesk or something once you kind of get on the box.
And the other fun thing I like doing in Battlegrounds that someone actually did to me is just stand up a Netcat listener on port 9001 and hope a shell just randomly goes your way.
That's awesome.
Because like I'm so in the habit of like 10.10.14.2, but every Battlegrounds instance is randomized. So you may not get that IP address. So, it's just habit. You send the shell like, oh crap, that shell just went somewhere. And then if someone's listening, it's like, oh, I just gave them points.
That's hilarious.
So we have a question. What is the weirdest hack you have ever pulled off? Do you have one, John? I'm trying to think right now.
Goodness, yeah, that would be something to think about. I am starting to see some folks. I think I'm looking at Szymex scene right now, their screen, and they've opened up some box and they're SSH'd in. I don't know if this is off the races already, but the weirdest hack that I've pulled off.
Let's see. I think we're actually live, so we will transition into the game. I hope this is the game. We have Snowscan right now doing something. It looks like...
I'm not quite seeing you up on Twitch just yet.
Me?
The display kind of for their screen. It might be the 2-minute delay.
Yeah, it's the 2-minute delay.
Okay, gotcha, cool.
When I was hopping around Discord, I didn't know like what I was showing, so...
No worries.
So we do have a website. Snowscan is SSH'd in. He hasn't popped the box yet. I know he's A-team and super fast, but he is SSH'd into this box, kind of poking around to see what's happening. He found a hard-coded password, so he changed that. If you look at the website, it's ESRS, and it looks like there is some type of command injection. So really quick, Snowscan is going in to harden this. So he puts in... just something to shell escape. I forget exactly what command it was. It looks like Snowscan didn't know off the top of his head. He just went and looked at it off Google. And he's in the sudoers file, changing that and just hardening the box right off the bat. So let's go and I'm going to see what InfoSecJack is doing. So InfoSecJack, he is going to a different box. Is he going to be attacking this or not? It is the crime report search panel. And he has Burp Suite up. And it looks like, let's see.
Checking out that database and a SQL file here.
Yep. And I'm guessing he's SSHN as well. So instead of fuzzing the application, he's taking advantage of the fact that he can just look at the source code. And I'm trying to remember, who was Snowscan up against? Do you know?
Ooh. Not off the top of my head.
If Roadrunner is listening, can you chime in and let us know what team Snowscan was up against?
In our mod support here.
It looks
how
like...
much do you... Oh, sorry.
What are you gonna
I was
say?
going to ask, how much do you end up using Burp Suite? Because it looks like, hey, this is an immediate knee-jerk reaction for just about everyone that we're taking a look at here. Burp Suite is always up and at 'em.
Yeah, Burp Suite is one of my go-to. I've started trying to use Zap a lot more. Mainly like more of just supporting open source. And Zap has this like HUD feature, which like uses JavaScript to go on the web page. So instead of like alt-tabbing to turn intercept on and off, you can just click it on the website that you're on, which I find handy. We do have, let's see, it looks like he's found a potential LFI vulnerability. And Roadrunner just messaged me that says Snowscan is up against MyDonut. So let's hop over on their side. And it looks like, again, the priority here is them patching, not attacking. So the very first thing they do, find the vulnerability and then go and patch it. So I'm going to hop over to MyDonut and we can see what he is up to. And it looks like he is examining the processes on the box and he used the AUX. I think he had a tree, and this will let him easily see any type of reverse shell, right? Because he's looking at the process tree. Have you used that much, John? Or
a bit, yeah. I've seen you showcase it to kind of make sure, like, hey, what is a child process of what? And it's a really good looking display, and much easier to actually see. Hey, this syntax doesn't look right. That's totally malicious. Someone else is here.
Yeah, and it looks like they have aliased TCP dump or something. That is a weird argument I see. Not safe for stream, but looking at this, they're still looking at open ports. So I'm going to go over to Sysmez's stream to see exactly what he is doing. And it looks like he is on GTFO bins. So again, no one has submitted any points. We can see Snowscan's team is in the lead because you get points for having your services operational as well as having them like compromising the other players. The goal is to put your flag on their machine. And whenever the scorebot comes, if it goes on their machine, sees your flag, you get points. And this is unique. Well, I guess this is just a super transparent terminal screen. I was like, is this some weird like drop down on Sysmez? But no,
it looks like Gwake. Have you heard of that? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No.
But there is a drop down HUD or terminal that Gwake uses. At least I've seen around on like Debian or Ubuntu based stuff. I'm not sure if this is what he's using, but it looks similar to that in a drop down terminal.
So right now he did a cron tab command and he's looking at eddypass.sh, and this looks like it's a backdoor to set a MySQL password. It is really hard to tell because of the transparency.
Yeah.
Let's hop back over to Snowscan to see exactly what he is up to now.
Burp with that dark theme.
Yeah. And then he is using Sublime for his notes.
Nice. So I thought I saw some PHP deserialization there. I see that function wake up and a curl command pipe to sh. So we can tell that, hey, we're on the offensive here for sure.
Yeah. I'm guessing he looked at the source code and found it being serialization within a cookie. And that's why he's putting it there. He hasn't URL encoded it. I think that's what he's doing now. Yep. Ooh, Control U to URL encode. And let's see, does he have a shell? No. And Snowscan uses 9001. It's funny to
over
see
9,000.
how many people use that. It was like, I just started doing it in one of my first videos. Like, I don't know what port to use.
It was just a joke all along. It's like, because it's over 9,000.
I just wanted to make a joke. So let's see. It looks like he is doing PHP serialization attack, and this becomes easier to do because he has the source code. And one of the things keep in mind about Battleground machines is there's normally multiple vulnerabilities. So he may be going for one of the harder ones. I'm guessing like the intended like basic way to compromise this isn't deserialization. However, it is one of the harder ones to like spot and patch. Well, maybe it's not too hard to spot. You just grep for serialize and you find it. But people may not know how to patch it without breaking things. And if you break the server, that's when you no longer get points.
That is something that I know I, for one, would struggle with, like in the moment when you're in this like fast-paced, breakneck speed hacking competition, and you see something that, oh, this is going to take a little bit more like troubleshooting and plumbing to actually make sure if I were to patch this, will the application still run? When you're in the moment and you choke, that hurts.
Yeah,
something that's still got to be done.
So mystery solved. Snowscan's O is an alias to like SSH with SSH pass.
Nice.
So he can just type O and then the IP and a password and he gets in. So let's go and see what InfoSecJack is doing. It looks like he was trying to log into his box and maybe the password changed. Maybe he's putting the wrong password in. Come on, let's see. There he goes. Switch up the password. It's
he's in.
Wrong clipboard, probably. That's one of the things that always gets me with Linux is like the two different clipboards you have. So he put T on. I don't know what T is. I'm guessing what he's doing is running the exploit against himself in order to like get some type of debugging output. Because maybe like he's having trouble with the reverse shell. However, since he controls the box that it's on, he could just run it against his own box if he didn't patch it already and do something simpler like create a file. Like touch/temp/t is a common like thing people do in these attacks just to get proof of concept that it works. And then they go and try to do the reverse shell.
That is a super duper smart thing to do, especially as like you're kind of trying to throw your own attacks, your own exploits. If you have something of your own environment that you can use to troubleshoot what does what setting is going to make what other change. When you can control it, that is going to help you when you're up against an actual maybe remote target.
Yeah, and if you have trouble like getting the same thing, you can always use Docker. And Docker helps you spin up like web apps super simple. And if you go to like the Docker hub, you can look at the version history and just spin up that exact version. It makes it handy. The main issue is just knowing the Docker commands to like exec into your Docker container.
Oh, definitely.
The flag like -it and things like that.
I always get weirded out because the command that you want to run comes after the container name after IT, but
yeah,
kind of
after a while it becomes muscle memory, and then you just until the competition starts and you're like, oh crap, muscle memory's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hop over to InfoSecJack. I think Snowscan and him were attacking different applications because everyone gets two. And we see InfoSecJack is a Nano user, and he's using Nano to edit the PHP ini. I'm guessing he's going to do safe functions. And this is, disable. So he's going to disable a lot of like the dangerous PHP things like shell exec, popen, things like that. So if someone does get like code execution, well, they're going to have to figure out what he disabled. And this is a super handy thing everyone should do on their web servers just in general.
Yeah, if you've got PHP in there, that's going to be a really good lockdown.
Yeah, and most languages have similar things to block functions, and you can also do like mod security and install, I forget what it is, core rule set, CRS, and that's like a reputation-based thing. So like what that means is you can flag it on multiple things. So it could be coming from AWS, and you don't want to block everything from AWS, but if it's coming from AWS and has like quotes in it, maybe that's when you block it because that's weird. But if like John is sending quotes to a web server, you may not want to block it. Well, if you knew it was coming from John, you want to block it. But that could just be a normal thing, like someone leaving a comment and just normal punctuation. So bad characters aren't always bad characters, but when you can tie them up with other suspicious things, like someone from AWS probably isn't going to leave a comment on your blog.
Totally.
So looking back at this, we do see them still trying to poke at the server. And this is one of the things I like about watching people solve these things is these are relatively easy machines. I think if we launched them on Hack the Box, they'd all be between easy and medium. And you can see they don't know exactly what's going on, and they kind of have the source in front of them. And they're still like struggling a little bit, which I think really helps. Especially knowing this is a team who like bloods 25% of the time.
I mean, the whole crutch of this game is the clock. You know, it's the time urgency. So like you're rushing to try and speed run through the source code to understand what the vulnerabilities are. So sure, while it is an easy box, it has to have vulnerabilities so that you have this attack and defense style of gameplay. But it's just how frantic can you be? How many times can you mistype your command? That is what can make or break sort of the game here. It's just, hey, quickly getting up to speed and patching and going on the offense.
Yeah, and we did see him like doing some basic SQL injection using the URL in the browser instead of like Burp Suite. And simple, like that didn't cause an issue because what he was doing was simple. However, it can cause an issue when you do things in the URL because you never know like what Firefox or Chrome decides to URL encode. That's the nice thing about Burp is Burp won't do anything without you telling it to. And we do see him also running FUF to fuzz for like special characters, and now he's running SQL map.
Saw a question come through like, hey, why does Snowscan not use Metasploit and then create a Python server to transfer the backdoor?
And that'll probably be answered at the end if Snowscan wins and is on the interview. But the main reason probably is just habit. Me personally, if I was in Battlegrounds, if you've seen my video, I probably would be using Metasploit just because Meterpreter hides better from the like PS tree thing, right? Oh, yeah. And then it also, I'd have an encrypted shell so people can't just like TCP dump and grep for commands and find me that way. Like Meterpreter is just going to be a lot more OPSEC safe than reverse shells off the bat. But Snowscan probably does it because it's super simple and easy. Additionally, there's less going on. Back to like when we were doing the deserialization thing, when the exploit's not working, you like keep it simple and dumb it down to a point where instead of doing this reverse shell that has a lot of these characters, a lot of quotes, a lot of pipes, just bad characters in general, I'm going to touch a file. It just keeps it simple and doing a lot less steps. And when there's less steps, there's less points it can go wrong, which means you can debug it quicker. Like with the reverse shell, you have to be like, is Netcat on the box? Is this a bad character? Is there a firewall? Is this a bad command? There's just a bunch of ways Netcat can fail. But there's very few ways touch can fail because touch is always going to be there. And we do have InfoSecJack with a successful SQL map, it looks like. It was blind, and he decided to kill it, probably because it was going too slow. We saw it trying to receive data. What's he doing? Oh, he put it in dash batch mode. So SQL map will no longer ask questions, which is, again, handy. You always want to have some type of recon going on in the background.
And SQL map will ask a lot of questions.
Yes. Like level, sensitivity, risk. Do you want to dump? Do you want to crack? Like, no, I want you to work. I want the password.
Just go.
I ran you because I want to hit that easy button.
SQL map is great for that, especially for just quickly, hey, is something going to end up being vulnerable? Do I need to keep looking at it kind of on my own manually? But as you mentioned, like, hey, just having enumeration on in the background, well, you can go continue your own op, then that's what's important here. Stay running.
Yeah, I think the other funny thing I'm looking at right now is one InfoSecJack Screen. And he kind of has this setup how I used to when I use Kali. That like your terminal in the middle and try to stack all the things to be pretty. The main reason I did that was because I just hated the dock on the left. So I never like maximized, but it looks like InfoSecJack still does that. Once I switched over to Parrot, I kind of stopped that because of how the dock is a little bit different. Going back over to Snowscan Screen, he is running Metasploit. So the one question, why don't you use Metasploit? Looks like he is.
He was listening in.
So he's searching for deserialize. So I think maybe he ran into a wall with his PHP deserialization, and he's looking at Metasploit. There's also like PHP GCC, I think. I think it's PHP Gadget Chain Collection or something.
Yeah.
To help out. But again, like CTF on the time, when you use a commit, like a program that you use every 4 months, it's not going to be the easiest thing.
Definitely.
So let's see what he does. I wonder if he has code execution. Now he's just going to use Metasploit to get Meterpreter on the box, or maybe it's Metal. I always get those two confused. I know at one point they rewrote Meterpreter on Linux and called it Metal. I'm not sure if they renamed Metal back to Meterpreter.
Really? Huh.
I think. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. That's the great thing about doing videos. Like, you can just say all this stuff, you just throw everything against the wall, and someone will correct you when you're wrong, and you learn.
Yes, yeah. Like, I learn more from putting it in front of people, and everyone's screaming at me like, no, John, this was stupid. You did it wrong.
Yeah.
And they correct.
There's one thing about the internet. They will tell you when you're wrong. So it looks like instead of doing a reverse shell, he is just going to try to send the flag back to himself with this deserialization attack. So I'm really curious if this works. And this is like the painful part when you're like, I sympathize with everyone that watches my video when I have like one simple thing that's wrong. And the people like just sitting there, fix it, add the semicolon or something. Like, the downside is we can't just skip forward because this is all live. So we're seeing this as you guys do. So is he going to paste it? It looks like, the password begins with 0E. Do you know the significance of that, John?
I didn't check it. Was that base 64 encoded? Which one are you looking at?
No, it was a login page, and it was username is admin, pass was a MD5 hash that began with 0E. At least I assume it was MD5.
Ah. So I might be totally wrong. 0E, if it is going to end up being PHP thing, yep. And if it's all numbers kind of at the very end following that 0E, if it's not using strict typing, if it's not using a strict check for comparison to equal signs in PHP, yep. Then you might be able to do some of those. It's weird. It's like, it thinks it's scientific notation or an exponential number or something. So you could do some magic hashes, yes, and potentially totally bypass the hash check if you just give it a number or anything else that'll kind of end up being another 0E. Or whatever that happens to be. Yep. I don't know if I explained that verbally all that well.
Yeah, essentially, PHP has an equals, which means you're going to set that to be like a variable to be equal to that. It has a double equals, which means does this variable equal that? And there's a triple equals, which means does this variable really equal that? And the difference between the double equal and the triple equal is it's going to take the type of that variable. Right. So like if you do a double equal and you compare like the integer 0 versus the string 0, it's going to pass. But if you do a triple equals and you compare the string 0 versus the integer 0, it's going to fail. And that's why this strict typing thing exists. Because if it begins with 0E and it gets translated as an integer, it'll be, that's 0 to the whatever power, it's going to be 0. So it's a huge hash collision because you just have to find magic hashes that will begin with 0E and then everything else is a moot point because it's all 0. But if you do triple equals, that's not a thing. So that's what Snowscan was doing with that. It doesn't look like he got the flag yet, though. So it looks like he tried to dumb it down with netcat just to send the flag back to himself, but didn't work. So again, just keeping hammering at this vulnerability to try to figure out how to get it, which again, I'm just fascinated watching this and being like, yes, I'm not alone. You guys struggle with this stuff too.
One thing that I always end up talking about eventually at some point is like, man, there's no like pomp and circumstance when we're doing this. It's all like very raw and genuine, long form. The struggle and the fail, like no one talks about the failure that goes into hacking. But when we're doing this, it's a very iterative thing. Like try something, it doesn't work. Try something else, still doesn't work. Go Google something, keep trying, and it's super iterative, right?
Yeah, and it's persistent. Like
Yeah.
If you want to be good at this profession, you got to like either redefine what failure is or not call it failing. Like if you take a certification test and don't pass, you didn't fail. You learned something, right? You know what you didn't know. And that is the most valuable thing, is knowing what you don't know, because now you can like focus to study that area. And if you look at it as failure, like, oh, I'm not smart enough or whatever, you're like, it's doing yourself a huge disservice. Like most exams, people fail the first time, no matter what the exam is. And it just takes that little extra, what did I fail at? Is it this PrivEsc that I don't know? Is it Windows? Is it SQL? Is it binary exploitation? It's generally like not everything. You did some things good. You just missed one thing. And unfortunately, you need to know all the things to pass.
1,000%.
So it looks like Snowscan is still at this deserialization, and he put both the username and password as 0E and gets invalid credential. And he just put the password as 0, and I did not see if Burp said invalid credential or not.
So is the application, I don't know if you caught it in the source code, is it hashing his entry to be checked against that hash?
I don't know exactly what it's doing. I did not catch that.
When you do this magic hash attack, or when you know that it's using weak comparison and not that strict typing with 3 equal sign, if your input is going to end up being hashed and compared, well, then you'll need to look for those regular strings or those actual values that will end up being a 0E, whatever numbers following that. There are a ton of resources. There's already a lot of other research that has put this out for, in MD5, these will hash to something that matches that criteria. In SHA-1, in SHA-256 in some cases. There is some research and stuff already out and about. I think if you just Google, hey, magic hashes, you can track it down.
And he's now just trying command execution. Oh, no, this is still this deserialization and putting it in the username.
In the username now.
Yeah. So he's just trying it in various spots. And the reason why like Snowscan was going with username password and he looked at invalid password and they did it again and didn't look at that. He didn't need to see invalid password to know if it says invalid password, because he probably just looked at the content length in the bottom right or bottom left of the Burp Suite window. And as long as that content length changes, he knows it's not saying invalid password, as long as the page doesn't like echo back the username or the password you did, which is pretty uncommon. So let's go back over to MyDonut and see how they are doing.
Sure.
So MyDonut shows the score, and it looks like Snowscan's team, are they winning? 750 to... No, Snowscan's team is losing right now. So one team has popped a box, and they got the very first box. I don't know which one that is, but right now it's 1 box to no boxes. Looking at Sysmez,
scoreboard's displaying real quick every now and again, trying to catch it.
And they are, let's see, looking
digging through the SQL file again, trying to see how that database is put together.
And that is really cool, that little drop-down terminal thing. I've never seen that before. So now they are doing crime registration.
Signing up with some bogus data, register an account, see more they can access. Oof. Mobile autocomplete.
And I don't know if this is his browser or maybe the page was in a different language. I'm not sure exactly what that tooltip error said.
Yeah.
So it looks like probably it was in a different language, and he's just looking at the source code to figure it out. And he wants, it's a pattern of 6 digits. So he's just looking at that number now. And he did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. He did 12 digits, right?
Yeah, he did. Min length 12, max length 12.
Oh, yeah, different thing. So there we go. There he goes. Now, again, it's just trying to understand regex live. Like, again, going back to it, how tough this is, and even the basic things. Like, I'm looking at this regex pattern, and both me and him failed to read it live. So...
Well, hey, part of me wonders, because that's all ending up being validated client side. Like, that's just the limitations, the specification that HTML or JavaScript might be putting on you. But if you were to send the data to the actual server, and you make that real HTTP request, is it still going to end up doing that validation? Does it really need to be this criteria of, however many numbers? That's worth digging into to see if are there any other characters or any other weird stuff we can do here.
Yeah. Like, whenever I see client-side validation, I'm like, ooh, what if we just take away that client-side?
Oh, yeah.
And
that's where Burp Suite will come in handy. That's where you can just kind of fumble around with curl. I don't know if you're a Python requests fan like me.
Yeah, I'm just like, let's send this request into Burp Suite, copy it to a file, and then SQL map while poking at it in like a repeater window type thing.
Nice. Grepping for passwords here.
So again, static source code analysis to look through the things. And
it doesn't seem like anything catches his eye.
No. Right now, what I'm looking at, that insert into police values. Let's see. I'm trying to find on his screen. It doesn't look like... Is it using parameterized statements?
I don't see any parameterization. No.
I think that's
it looks just a variable kind of put in the string.
Yeah, I think it's potentially injectable in an insert statement. Also, potentially in the select. I did not see it.
So if it is in that select statement, if we could find whatever pathway or vector to get to that, I would much prefer SQL injection in the select statement rather than an insert statement, personally.
I know I've done it before, but it's one of those things I would not do in 30 minutes.
It's a pain.
Yeah, I could order a Domino's pizza before I could get a SQL injection back to me. And it looks like we have 20 seconds left, and the MyDonut team will be potentially taking this.
Wow. What a rush.
Yeah.
He's like, good game, everybody.
Good game. So the next match will be potentially MyDonut versus Celesian. We'll see how they handled it, if they won. But MyDonut takes the victory.
Congrats. Excellent work, teams, all around.
So let's go. Let's see. Transition. So now it's just back to us until the next game.
Well, hey, how do we do a cool debrief for Aftermath after watching that frenzy? Anything kind of stick out to you? Typical tooling, I think we got to see.
Yes. I think the main thing, I kind of mentioned it at the beginning, is there was a lot of focus on deserialization. I'm not sure if the focus ever left that, right?
I agree. And that was a real big wrench in the works. That totally slowed down, I think, our other team here when we were looking at Snowscan and InfoSecJack. It looked like that was just a stumbling block.
Yeah, I'll be really interested to play Battlegrounds after, get this machine, and see if it was deserialization. I'm sure it was, but was there an easier thing? Was it just like a simple LFI somewhere that you could have got a quicker win? Like, I'm sure... Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe
that's what makes the frenzy in my head. It's just like, oh, are there other attack vectors? Am I going to go down a rabbit hole that I can't get past this wall? That's where you got to enumerate everything. Got to look under every rock.
Yeah, or maybe it was just like we needed to know like PHP gadget chain finder or something. Like just knowing one tool could be the difference.
Yep, make or break it.
So I'm really curious how the other teams are doing. Let's see. If Roadrunner's still listening, do you want to show us the brackets once all the games end? Let's see.
I see some folks shutting down their VPN. Their game is wrapped up. There's still 8 minutes left with Celesian and JazzPizazz.
Yeah, let's hop in Celesian and JazzPizazz because there's 8 minutes left in their game. So we're here in middle of a game. I just saw a flag fly through the screen.
I did too, yeah. It looks like someone's running.
Let's see.
I will show it 100%.
Okay.
I'm here.
So we're in Celesian's game. Do you know who they're playing against?
They had shared our bracket. Give me just a moment.
Celesian against MyDonut.
Wait.
Celesian and JazzPizazz looked like they're against Bobby and Yakuto.
Okay.
Yes, now.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what is scrolling through Celesian Screen. Maybe it was a
serious
flag.
amount of hashes or flags. You never know.
He was using GoSpy to look at all the processes on a box of PSpy. That's what it is.
Yep. Is GoSpy a thing? Did you drop a good nugget there that I don't know about?
I think PSpy is written in Go. Like
that makes sense. Yeah.
In my mind, whenever there's a Go program, it
has to be prefixed with Go.
Yes. In most cases, that is true.
Rust everything, Pythons, etc.
Well, you wouldn't call it Rust something. You call it Rusty, like Rusty Cats or Rusty Map,
Rust Map. And that's,
But he is looking like he's editing looking at the SSH config. So I'm not sure. This is the other thing about Battlegrounds is once your machine gets compromised, you have to figure out where the backdoors is. So I'm not sure exactly what Celesian's doing. If he's putting a backdoor, looking for backdoors, just hardening. It's like 5 minutes left in this game. So he's probably not hardening still. Like that time has passed. That is like the first 5 minutes of a match.
Oh, yeah. So if he's putting in his backdoor or looking for others, an SSH config are like one of my favorite things to mess with. I'll do dirty stuff, but like unlocking all the other system accounts and like copying their no login default shell to actually be an instance of bash, or having some like auto specific SSH key that will work for everyone, or the PAM backdoor, right? When you can just auth with any password. I love messing with some of that.
Oh man, I did not see the scoreboard long. That's, I think, lessons learned. We need a better way for me and you to see the scoreboard. Like hindsight's 2020. That may seem obvious.
I was asking around our moderators, like, is there a way for us to kind of have some visibility on the points?
But it looks like this is a close match as well. Like I expected Celesian to run away with this game, but I guess that's what it takes because all these players are hand selected. They've won previous Battlegrounds tournament. For like the past 4 or 5 months, we have ran, or Hack the Boxes ran, Battlegrounds tournaments every month to find out winners. And then we just hand selected a bunch of previous winners to go in this tournament. So everyone here is just insane caliber. Like even if you don't see them getting bloods every day, they may just not be active on Saturdays, or they may not be the fastest on particular things, but it doesn't mean they're not great. So we can look at the score. There's like under 100-point difference. That is like one flag check.
Oh, absolutely.
This
minutes to go.
Yeah. So maybe he is hardening. Maybe he's just like, okay, I got to get him out of my system, because if he gets one more flag, it's over. Because I think the flag check happens like every 5 or 7 minutes, and that's when the points are given out. So if he was previously compromised and he gets him out, then they no longer get those points, and he gets the uptime points, which means they could win. So
lock it in.
It's a tough call. Like when you're down to the wire, do you harden your stuff or go harder at theirs? It is really tough, especially if they're just doing reverse shells. I mean, you can easily find and kill that or prevent that. But if they're doing something like IppSec safe and like dropping a rootkit or Apache mod or backdooring the SSH config, it can be really tough to find, and they don't keep that connection until the flags change and they drop the new flag, and you're just like SOL. Like, how do I find them? They're not on my box right now when I'm looking. It becomes really tough. There are a lot of cool things you can do, though, like looking at timestamps.
Do you do any timestamp or time stomping, right, to try and clobber some of that stuff? Do you go that far for your OPSEC?
Oh, yeah. Like, if you've watched, like, I forget what the most recent video I did it in, but I noticed one of the boxes, like, depackage doesn't put a full timestamp on the system. And a full timestamp, generally a timestamp goes down to like the nanosecond.
Right. It's super like all the way down to the precise microsecond there.
Yeah, because depackage doesn't use that. Everything that depackage drops, like in bin, user bin, S bin, doesn't have that full timestamp. So you can just write a quick find command to find everything in those directories and then just chop off everything that has all zeros, because that's going to be probably placed by depackage. And if someone just edits a file or drops a file in bin, it'll stick out like a sore thumb, because that will be the only one with that full timestamp there.
That is a super cool trick.
The hilarious thing about that is I made Crime Stoppers a long time ago, and I've used that Apache backdoor a few times. And like testing it, I run it on my own machine. And I apparently didn't clean it up. And when I was showing that in a Hack the Box machine, I just realized the timestamp thing, because I kind of realized that live as I was just looking for extra things to do. I found out, like, I left my backdoor on my system. I was like, let's just run this here. Oh, I know what that file is. That's a backdoor that I placed. Let's clean that up. That's awesome. It does work against like live machines. And we saw the points. It is like, like a 50-point difference. I don't know, it's Celesian on the right or left.
Celesian looks to be on the left.
Yep. That little hamster icon is him. I recognize that thing everywhere. But it's a 130-point difference with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. So it'll come down to the final check-in. So let's see what JazzPizazz's screen looks like.
Absolutely.
It is chaotic. This is what you would expect after.
Running around, frantic alt tabs.
Yeah. We see Obsidian. I do like Obsidian.
I saw you use it in a recent video.
Yeah,
I love it.
I switched to it after you. I was looking at what else I could do other than Cherry Tree, because I just got annoyed with Cherry Tree. And I saw you use Obsidian. I checked it out. And then like I was reading Twitter comments. I saw like the timeline plugin from Obsidian. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I just wish it was easier to like paste that in. Have you seen the timeline?
I haven't. I wish there were a little bit more like hotkeys that I could use.
Yes.
Maybe I just haven't done as much research into them, but like creating other specific, like, okay, a document or something. I wish I could be a little bit faster on the keyboard with that, but I love Obsidian. It looks great.
So we see this. The crime report search has just LFI in the report case file. So we see him getting /op/flag.txt. So that is one of the things. And if you didn't if you started the game attacking and someone saw this, like they get your flag and now you're playing keep away off their system. Right. But if you go to harden it first, chances are you can find that vulnerability, patch it, and then go and attack. And I don't know exactly how I'd patch that off the top of my head. I did research for 20 minutes, 20 to 45 minutes on PHP commands and things to do. And I put it in the LFI Academy course on Hack the Box. So if I wanted to go back, I'd probably go pull up that course and look at exactly what I did to filter it out. I tried to do some unique things. It may still be vulnerable. It's really bad code there, but it kind of is there to teach you PHP, show you how to search through strings, how to clear things like that. I'm sure whenever there's an opportunity to write your own function or use the function out of the framework you're using, like Cake PHP, Laravel, Django, whatever, use the templates function. Don't hard code it.
Right.
The template function may be vulnerable, but the template gets updated by people, not you, and seen by people, not that you seen by a much larger audience, and gets tested. So you benefit if both me and John use Flask and John goes and hard codes his own thing to do something and I just use the Flask, my Flask thing may be vulnerable, but maybe a website uses Flask, they found that vulnerability, they push it into Flask, and now I benefit from them paying for that assessment to find that vulnerability.
Definitely.
Whereas John, it's obscure. If someone goes and looks at it manually, they'll be able to probably pop John, but it takes someone looking at it manually.
Rolling your own is not usually a good idea.
Yeah. Especially if you're a security guy, because all of us are really bad coders. Anyone that learns programming from my videos, I feel sorry for you because
I apologize in advance.
Yes.
I don't consider myself a software architect by any means. I don't consider myself a software engineer. I feel like I can script and badly,
Yeah.
but I can do it fast and speedy because we're used to that. We're used to that hacking, fast-paced environment. But on that note, don't roll your own stuff. If there is something that you can use, sure, it may be vulnerable, but it will be significantly less vulnerable or not as vulnerable as something custom. So,
yeah. The people that write frameworks generally know what they're doing. Although I find, like, I used Flask earlier. It's hilarious because Flask actually started as a April Fool's joke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forget what the framework was originally called, but it was an April Fool's joke to show how bad
micro frameworks,
and like he did every design decision wrong. And then like if you Google like Flask April Fools and like read the postmortem, it's hilarious. He's like, advertising is king. Be bold. It doesn't matter if you're correct. Just say it does things and people will believe you. No one checks.
Be confident. Yep.
Put your code on GitHub. If it's accessible, it'll be used.
Nice. That's crazy.
But yeah, I think it was poking at like everyone using UWSGI and stuff and like just doing a lot of stupid things. It's a really good blog post and like typical programmer humor of, oh, I took this joke too far and look at it evolve too.
Well, I think I see Celesian and JazzPizazz kind of shutting down.
Yep.
Did that game end?
Let's see. I'm guessing it ended. Oh, we see him using PHP gadget chains. So he was probably doing the deserialization as well and looking into that. So I think we're back at waiting for the next game.
Are any of the other competitors still going, or?
Let's see. Don't see.
Celesian is watching a baby cat's cute and funny cat videos compilation.
He knows what the internet loves.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're curious what Celesian is watching, I just put it on the screen.
Yes, please.
I think this is safe. You never know what a YouTube's going to go, oh, is the cat going to find it? I was going to guess left. I think the cat's smarter than me. I think it's left again. Yeah. Cat's 100%.
Let's see.
Oh, God. So we do have 2 more matches left. It's going to go now into the semifinals, and then the grand finals are after that.
I'm excited. I think that was super cool.
Yeah.
What we rolled out, like, I guess that we have now took away half of the pool of players, right? Because we had to move on to that next branch, keep moving to the tournament, but we're getting closer to see who comes out victorious.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see the brackets. Like, see how many upsets there are. This is like March Madness.
You can go now to see them. I'm sharing them on Discord host channel.
Okay. Let's go scene 2. So we have Celesian and JazzPizazz, or have you say that, beating Bobby and Yakuhito. We have MyDonut and Sysmex beating Snowscan and InfoSecJack. We have Ch4rm and Enox beating Ch4rm and Cashflow. And we have Hojan and Ch4rm beating Legacy and X3PH. So I think the game we're going to be seeing is going to be Celesian, or which game do you want to see, John?
I'll be honest. I would be fascinated to watch Celesian, MyDonut, JazzPizazz, and Sizzy. But hey, I don't want to drive the boat, man. What are you feeling?
Let's watch Celesian. And I mean, I'm probably going to watch Celesian now. And then if he wins, we'll watch him in the finals. But if he loses, I'm sure he'll be playing in UHC tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped streaming to share them the codes.
Okay.
This is awesome, everybody. Super cool to move on, get to the next phase here.
Yeah. So we'll watch Celesian Screen, and then, well, that game screen.
See if he's still on cats right now.
He did say he was shaking in the actual chat, like in the lobby chat.
Yeah.
So he's definitely nervous. Like, it's tough. Like,
there's a lot on the line here. Like, you guys have outstanding prizes.
Yeah.
Like, I would be just as anxious, if not more. So. I'm watching the Twitch chat and they're like, hey, can we get more cat videos, please?
If there's one thing the internet loves, it is a good cat video.
When you mix it in with live hacking, there's nothing better. It's
I did it all wrong. I was like, I had an ASCII Rickroll
nice
that I just replaced like login banners with. So when people SSH into my stuff, they just get Rickrolled. I should have just replaced it with like ASCII cat videos and random quotes.
Nyan cat.
Yeah, like my mindset was wrong. Like I trolled them, and like the instant you see a Rickroll is to close it, but the instant you see a cat is you just get mesmerized. So like if I put the cat thing up, maybe they won't hack me. Maybe they'll just log in and be like, "Ooh, cats," and just get distracted.
That's the way to win. Cool. So what? We have 6 new machines that are going to end up being released for Hacking Battlegrounds, right? Like after this event is over, now everyone else in the world can totally go play these same machines. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. So
that's super cool.
There won't be like write-ups immediately available, but you can go play the machine, which is super fun. And then like, I think the biggest thing that a lot of people maybe just don't do is after you solve machines, talk with people, see how they did it, see what you can improve on. Because like if I solve a machine and John solves a machine, I know he's been doing like a lot of hack the box machines lately. I'll generally be in his chat during his preview, like just watching and seeing what he did differently than me, because that's like free optimization and free like lessons learned. Everyone solves things differently.
I always get my I get my good imposter syndrome, and I'm like, dang, IppSec's going to put out a Hack the Box video, and it's going to be so much better than mine.
You get like double my views now.
Well, you certainly showcase some other incredible, cool, awesome techniques. So while I might try and brute force my way to a solution, you'll be like, pull some magic trick up your sleeve. So I think it's awesome. Everyone, check out both content and read whatever write-ups or whatever solutions you can get your hands on, because you learn so much, different tools, different techniques, absorb it all.
And yeah, I always get asked like, how do I know everything when I do these videos? Like
we don't.
9 times out of 10, I'm learning it like the day before I do the video. Like that's the whole like benefit of talking to people after you solve it, before you solve it, just learning what they know. Like I view myself more as a sponge than anything else. Like I just try to find all the techniques, and then that's how I learn.
I think one conversation I had with you in the past, which is awesome and has really stuck with me, was that like the fact that you do this every week. Like, sure, it might just be recording kind of to get more content out, but like you're holding yourself to try this box and to go up against it and to work on that machine. It's like I've heard you say it's like going to the gym or something. You just have to keep doing it for it to come and for you to hold yourself to it.
Yep. And the codes have been given to players, so they are now waiting for the games to be created. I saw Celesian, like his screen is on the waiting, so it is coming. So probably in another 2 minutes I can show. Oh, it disappeared. Let's hide this. There we go. Never know if a player is going to put like a private key or something on the screen, so I always hide it and try not to show their prep. But he's making it tough because every time I show his screen that shows the Hack the Box screen, he switches over. So there we go. This is what the players see. So it is currently setting up the games. And they can see like box names. But yeah, this will be really interesting to see what these boxes are, because again, they're unique machines per round. The only time machines duplicate is in the finals, and that is because we are putting on like 2 new machines and old machines. Because it's the finals, we assume they're like gods and have taken notes. Spoiler, they probably don't take too many notes. So how quick they can go back and patch those machines, that'll be the king. And again, it's still
forensic.
30 minutes. Like that's when you're going to see chaos. So it's configuring the network now. So we'll get in soon.
I love the music. Do you guys still have the music that plays when you're in the Battlegrounds lobby?
I believe so, yes.
It feels like my old school Call of Duty days. So like waiting for matchmaking.
Yes. And we are now in the game. So I'm on Celesian Screen right now, and we see him going to the boxes, see what the web pages looks like. Oh, we see Roxla. So let's go and go to port 8080. So I think this is a box that looks familiar, but it's changed slightly, I hope. So we'll see what happens. He is going in. His public key has changed because, again, we reuse IP, so he has to delete that known host file so he can SSH in, unless he just gets blocked by SSH's like man-in-the-middle thing. So now he's looking at var www HTML. And what file is he going to go to? It is running the Symfony framework, I believe.
I see the log file there.
Yeah.
Got the composer.json.
Looking at what ports are listening. Now he's going to go into the sudoers, and it says anyone can run a Perl command, and he just puts a random argument, hoping that argument does nothing. But yeah, just getting rid of the sudoers. So if someone gets on his box, they can't just immediately do sudo-l and then escalate.
Good call. That was a quick patch too, because just adding an argument, it's still gonna be there, but it's gonna be practically useless to you.
Yep. So now he's putting in some one-liners. I guess they have to harden bash RC. So I'm guessing he's replacing it so the shell goes like nowhere. I don't know what that base 64 is, but I'm sure it's probably just like doing something to that config. Again, just some pre-hardened things to go in and harden the box. So Celesian was against, do you have the brackets up, John?
Yeah, that is Sizzy and
MyDonut. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That'd be easy. So looking at MyDonut Screen, what is he doing? He is in Symfony as well, looking at that source code. So again, the main thing is people are going in and looking at the box first and poking around versus going in, hacking it, because 30 minutes. If you can actually manage to hack the box in 30 minutes blind, you got lucky. Yeah. There's no way around that. Like, that is insanely fast.
Is that your move usually? You like, hey, go take a look at what files are here, what the software is, and try to patch. Is defense your first play?
Yes. The very first thing I would be doing is similar to what we saw Celesian do and paste like bash RC stuff. I look PHP, quickly put the PHP disabled functions in. I would go and grep for like serialize, select, things like that to look for SQL injection. I'd also grep in PHP for like $_ to see where like user input is directly placed at. Look for like include statements, things like that. Just grep for some bad things. I wouldn't probably go explore the directory first. I'd more just use grep and try to find low hanging fruit. Because a lot of times if you just look for include statements and you see, include $_ parameter, that's bad.
Yep.
I'd probably put the serialized check last, mainly because I have the habit of, if I see something, I may hone in on it. So I try to put that last so I don't go down that rabbit hole, because this serialization is a long one.
Are you seeing MyDonut? Hey, it just looked like you found a hash for an admin password. Going to try and get it started with John the Ripper.
Yeah. Hold on one sec. Let's go. You were looking at whose screen?
I'm looking at MyDonut right now, I believe.
Okay. I did not see that. I was looking at a message I got. Sorry.
So no worries at all. I'm just covering some air for the players here, or the audience kind of watching. Looks like, I think that was a config file for Grapple? No. One of those web interfaces. So he started and found a hash and wanted to kick it off in John the Ripper. Some folks might be using Hashcat. Maybe they're a Hashcat fan.
John the Ripper is nice because it's going to auto-identify the hash.
Right.
So he doesn't have to like look at example formats to figure that out. So that'll be nice for that feature. Let's go over to Sysmex because it looks like, at least for me, MyDonut Screen was getting like choppy.
Yep.
The downside with like internet connections and streaming. So we see a GTFO bin for ProcMail. So GTFO bins, if you don't know, it's just like ways you can use binaries to get code execution, like living off the land. A lot of times they're probably using it not to live off the land and just using it for a code execution path. But like if you find Vim has the set UID, GTFO bins is where you go to find out what the magic hotkeys you use to get code execution from that.
Yeah.
So something's weird with ProcMail. So he's looking at GTFO bins to see how it can be weaponized. I'm going to go back.
I don't know. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I'm going to go back to Celesian Screen because I have no idea about ProcMail. Oh, I saw Ghidra opening.
I did too.
That's a dangerous
What are we doing
tool.
with Ghidra?
Like, speaking of like the tools, like I don't like going down serialization too early because I'm going to waste a lot of time. Like opening a binary and any like disassembler or decompiler is going to like also take a lot of time. And instead of doing that, I'd probably like run the binary on my machine with like ltrace. I'd probably, first of all, do it in a VM because sometimes like the binary may delete something and you get screwed. But like just do ltrace and look for what it's doing. Is it calling an exec call without an absolute path? Can I do like some type of path injection? And we have Celesian now looking at SSTI. So now he's going to try to enumerate what framework it is. I think he used Twig, and I thought this was Symfony. So we'll see if this works, but he could be cheating a little bit and just go directly to what it is. With SSTIs, it's like exploits coded against the framework, specific to the framework. So if you know what the framework is, you don't have to identify what it is. So let's see if he goes back and tries a different one. He's just doing a bunch, keeps getting these 500 internal server errors.
Some top coverage in case some folks don't know what it is when we're name dropping that acronym. We're chatting about server-side template injection, right? So the vector or your input might be evaluated and kind of understood as if a variable were being used in the page that's returned out, the template that would kind of evaluate and display that. So if you can use this, if you have template injection, then you're not going to be looking at simply a variable. You'll want to grab a variable type and then sort of climb the tree to access other data or other things that might be accessible within the configuration of that application. You could potentially find objects as you're kind of digging through the corners and crevices here that could get code execution or that could help you look at a file with file access. It's pretty damning if you can track down server-side template injection.
Yeah, and what we saw him do there is the server-side template injection comes from like the two squiggly brackets, and he did a number. The squiggly brackets didn't show up, the number did. And then he did math, and the server did math. Like, it didn't say 7 times 7, it said 49. So that confirms he got some type of code execution. And you may think that's simple, like silly, but you can also do like 7 times double quote, 7 double quote, and see if it prints 7 sevens. And it multiplies a string, and that's kind of how you identify what actual framework it's using or what template language, because they all behave different. Some, if you do that, will just print 49. Some will print 7777777. I think I said 7 sevens. I don't know. But just going down that path and being able to identify. And if I was doing a video, this is where I would be spending like 20 minutes prepping and looking at the correct way to go down that path. Like, not many people know that off the top of their head unless you do it every day. And in the videos, I don't show like the whole like going down the path. And we can see Celesian resetting his box because one of his boxes got pwned, and now he's looking at XINetD hacking. So right now, I think we have MyDonut's team in the lead.
Let's take a gander. MyDonut is looking at Grapple. I just want to take a quick peek as to what they're up against.
Yep, and we are looking at Celesian Screen for those in the chat that are wondering. So I'm going to go to JazzPizazz, and we're going to see exactly what he is up to. Is he the one doing instant response? Like, this is the scary part. Like, we saw a box got pwned, and he just reset it. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you focus on looking for vulnerabilities, or do you just set up a bunch of like a PS tree, a TCP dump, and doing a bunch of things, wait for them to pwn it again? Like, that's the tough call, because if you don't catch them in the act, it can be harder to find them, and they're just going to get more points.
I always think it's a crazy balance and juggling act when you have the duality of two players on a team, because you could be like, oh, strictly one person's going to go on the offense, strictly another person's going to do defense, but that doesn't always work. You kind of hop in and out of roles, but then you might accidentally stomp on each other. Like, oh, I thought you were doing this, and you got to still have communication when you have kind of a teammate with you.
Yeah, and also it may, like, some people may just say, okay, I get the top box, you get the bottom box.
Crazy.
Like, and I may happen to get the PHP box, John gets the Python box. If we don't communicate, John may be the PHP guy, I may be the Python guy, and we're just working not optimally. So there's a lot of communication that also has to go on behind the scenes to do this. Like, if you gave me a random Python app and said, go secure it in 30 minutes, I'd be like, John, please say you know this.
Maybe I might.
Like, it's tough. Like, just because I'm working on the box and looking for the attack doesn't mean like I know how to secure it. Or like, maybe John's doing is like, can you just do IR on this? I don't have all the commands to set up to do all this PS stuff because I don't do Battlegrounds as often. Like, just those types of things definitely help. And I think what we're probably going to see is the winners aren't going to be the ones we expected. The winners are going to be the ones that have silently been playing Battlegrounds a lot, because it is unique to go on the defensive. Like, Hack the Box and all these CTFs that we play and see all the time are all purely offense. But if you want to do good and like a blue and red team thing, you have to have blue team practice. And even if you do like sysadmin as a job, again, like I said, as soon as you go to a competition and the clock starts, you forget everything. So if you haven't done blue team CTFs, like, you just get lost as soon as it starts. Like, I'm trying to do IR. I don't have like Velociraptor. I don't have all my tools. How do I do this? I don't know. Like, my forensics is I run these tools. Like, I see compromise. I do this.
I think that's like a super interesting point, because like when people think like, oh, I want to be a little bit better on defense, or like, I want to do blue team sort of thing. When you put it in this picture, like when it's Hack the Box Battlegrounds, or if it's another like King of the Hill style game or attack and defense kind of game, a lot of the forensics and IR is very scrappy in my mind, at least. It's like, it's a poor man's thing, because you're not going to roll up with some Splunk solution. You're not going to get a seam put together to do all this. It's super kind of on the fly on the keyboard and having those commands ready for you. That's, in my mind, a poor man's very scrappy defense, but it's what you got to do in a game like this.
Yeah, and I think it's super beneficial to play. Like, the one thing I liked about playing Battlegrounds a lot is I learned more how to write recommendations in my pen testing reports.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I'm more thinking along the lines of, oh, I did this thing. If disabled functions were there, that would have stopped me, and it would have taken me a while, and it would have created a unique alert, like log event that they could have detected on and potentially like found me before I actually got on the system, right? And even like just configuring SE Linux, that is a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I rarely see that. Like, the number one SE Linux thing is you disable SE Linux. But if you actually take like the 6 hours it is to do like SE to allow, it will be so much like better. And if you don't know what SE to allow is, essentially you run the server for a week and it writes all the SE, like everything that happens in that week, it's going to create whitelist for. And then you run SE to allow and be like, okay, all the commands that happen that week, that's going to be allowed. I'm going to blacklist everything else. So now when Nginx tries to talk to Bash, it's like, you didn't talk to Bash during the like whitelist week. I'm going to deny you. And you can also instead, like if you're scared, like the number one way to get a defensive tool out of an organization permanently is to cause an outage with it. So I was talking about mod security before with Core rule set and now with SE Linux. You can always turn those on audit configuration. So it never blocks anything. It just puts those lines that say, this action happened, but it would be blocked if we're in enforcing mode. And even that's handy because even though it didn't block Nginx talking to Bash, it still created that log alert that I could then potentially see and then start taking action on.
That's a good way to like just know and just have the awareness. It's like, okay, it's kind of in passive listening mode for now, but then when I know like I really want to enforce these rules, sure, SE to allow would kind of let you set, this is what's normal, like this is how the server kind of should operate. Anything else that's weird, anything else that's out of the ordinary, we don't want to let that happen.
Yeah, so we're looking at JazzPizazz Screen right now still, and he's Googling for like TikiWiki and how to find the version number, which I find a bit odd because he should be able to just log into the blue team server and look at like the README and find out the version. Maybe it's not in the code and he's like looking like, if I'm an admin on the server, I'm logged into my own box, how do I find it? So I'm going to switch over to Celesians and we'll see what he's doing. Watch stream.
I would end up making the same mistake. I would be not thinking and be like, oh, I only know my adversarial offensive approach. How do I find this when I'm attacking it?
Yeah.
When I have my own copy of that instance.
So let's see. It looks like he is doing stuff in Vim. I'm going to go over to MyDonut and we'll see if he's doing anything. Sure. So it looks like MyDonut is looking at the same thing JazzPizazz was. I saw that grapple again. So they're still trying to figure out how to exploit this. He's searching for Grav, so maybe it's not TikiWiki.
Should that be a search exploit for grapple? Oh, Grav, it looks like I can see the banner on the top left.
So he's in a Tiki directory. So again, Battlegrounds machines have multiple paths. So it could be hosting two different websites. So if you just go to port 80 and don't look at like the virtual host configuration of Apache, you may be missing some websites. So maybe this has TikiWiki and Grav that has that grapple title. So yeah, we'll see exactly. Yeah, it looks like port 8081 is TikiWiki. So he's logging.
I feel like I've seen Tiki around before. I feel like that's a known vulnerable CMS somewhere. Have you played with that one before?
Yeah, a long time ago. I want to say it's been like 4 years.
I feel like I remember like a Vuln Hub thing that showcases that.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I've definitely seen TikiWiki before. Like standing up your own wiki is a very popular thing. Like, we see cron tab and it's running Jupyter Notebook. Oh, that's interesting. So it looks like Jupyter is installed on one, which could be a vulnerable path. Jupyter is like, I haven't really used Jupyter that much. It's a way to take like notes and put code in your notes, I believe.
Yep.
Have you used Jupyter
can have
much?
Like Python live alongside your markdown or whatever you're writing, so you can essentially execute it as you're taking notes, which conceptually is still weird to me. I don't use it myself. I don't exactly know why you would want to, unless you like know that, hey, I'm going through a Python course or something specific to the stuff you might be executing. I don't use it myself.
Yeah, the one thing I've used it for, I've seen it used, is like Cyber War Dog is a huge component of it with Helk. And like he'll have like an instant response playbook. And it'll have the like what it's doing, and then in Jupyter you click a button and it does that for you. So it's like, here's the notes. He's using it kind of like a poor man's website, right?
Nice.
Like note, you click this, it's going to run that and pull what it says it's pulling. So it's good for like live examples like that. I'm sure it's good for a lot of things, and we just don't like use it to its capability. It's one of those like many like, I have a long list of things I want to look into, and Jupyter is near the top of the list, but it is a long list.
I'll make that point because when we had the question earlier, it's like, oh, why isn't Snowscan using Metasploit, or why would they do a Python thing X versus Y? I think your answer, IppSec, was like sometimes people just kind of use what they're used to or what they know or what their knee-jerk reaction is. So even if, maybe something else could be better, we just haven't been exposed to it yet or we haven't used it yet. So while there's a ton to learn and do, hey, we just still got to get to it. In the meantime, we just know what we know.
Yeah. I mean, especially these players know that we're watching their screen. So like, there's also that performance anxiety of if I haven't ran Metasploit in 2 weeks, I may not know the commands and they may be looking at my screen as I do this. And like, I won't know how to use Metasploit.
Weird embarrassment in the moment. Yeah.
So let's see. We're on MyDonuts. I'm going to go over to Sysmex and we'll see what his screen looks like. He's looking at Twig execution. So he's on the SSTI as well. And actually both of them are looking at this grab thing. So that's a bit unique of a thing. I think both players on this team are attacking the same application and talking.
Yeah.
So like, that's also good. Like, maybe the answer isn't to load balance so you look at everything. Maybe it is you just go hard at this one application because, as we've seen, even though these are two like easy medium boxes, the first round, like only one got solved by both teams. Like there's never been a full compromise yet. So it's still like, if we just get one machine, we'll win, right? So why would we be inefficient going after two if we just need one?
And I think there is a lot of value in that, especially if you know, like, all right, cool. We're two team members that are more familiar with the offense. We just kind of prefer to go be the adversary. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of lockstep with your partner, just bouncing ideas back and forth. They're like, oh, I found this. And then you both go rush into that one lead. I think that's super common, but weird in that, are we leaving our defense behind? Are we kind of forgetting, what about our servers? Are they still protected?
Yeah, and I think like the also interesting thing, we saw at the very start of this match, either MyDonut or Sysmex submitted a user flag. They never got the root. Celesian quickly reverted the box. But like they didn't get it again, which leads me to believe they got it through some super simple means. And maybe they just weren't quick enough at patching it. Maybe TikiWiki, they didn't change the admin password. And this team just looked in, saw how to log in first, and just use the website's function to pull that file. It may have not been like an exploit to get a shell. They may have just known how to get opt_flag.txt or wherever the flag is. And because they didn't hard in the box, change the password quickly, they lost the flag. And that one solve could be the match.
You're totally right. And it's crazy to me. Like that quick reflex on the trigger. Hey, let's go revert this box. Make sure they don't get that root.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But like 30-minute match, flag gets solved in 2 minutes, doesn't get solved again, and that could be it because again, 30 minutes is not long to go and look at these things. I'm going to hop back over to Celesian. And we see him going hashcat. So he's now going to try to crack this. It is a bcrypt password. So bcrypt by itself, you can look. He's using, let's see, I don't know what it was, but it was 18 hours. It was probably just RockU. Like bcrypt by itself is a tough hash to crack. And one of the hashcat features that just dropped, I forget what it's called. Maybe it's correlation. There's a new attack mode in hashcat essentially. And I was reading about it yesterday because I just saw the tweet of them releasing it. I think what it's designed to do is try to crack all the hashes with just a hint first. So if you have like 100 bcrypt hashes, right? They're all salted, unique, different, so it's going to take forever to crack. It's going to potentially take the username, run a few mutations against it, try to get that password, because any one of those you solve, if it takes you a second per per attempt, if you rule out 20 of those because they were weak or blank passwords, then now you've just saved like 20 seconds per loop because you just eliminated those from the pool, so you're no longer sending bad hashes at it. So it's just one of those modes that doesn't really increase your attack surface. Like it doesn't give you new passwords or hashes. It's just more of an optimization thing. At least that's how I understand it. So it's cool also seeing those small things that come out. I think that's attack mode 9 off the top of my head. But again, just like 5 minutes of reading, I saw like hashcat posts. I'm like, ooh, this is a cool new feature. And then got distracted after I read about it. But yeah, definitely be looking into that.
I think I see that it says that it cracked it. Is that right? Do you?
Oh yeah, it's just blank. Yeah, it cracked.
What?
And it's just blank.
Nothing.
So
I can see Celesian just like, what?
So this is one of those things where like the client side validation doesn't allow you to submit a blank password, but if it is blank, it just works. And he's trying John. Hashcat, you lied to me. Let's go to John.
I was going to ask earlier when we didn't see this, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he used rules to like add a little bit more to it. But if rules would need to help you if it's completely empty.
And it's funny that like John didn't, if it is actually blank, it's hilarious that John didn't instantly crack it. I'm glad that John is like me and doesn't try the stupid things first. And wait. Oh, he's still looking at how to identify the TikiWiki version. And let's see, grep, git log. So he's looking at git to see if there's like a commit history. So again, he's still just trying to identify how to get this version. And this is a super tough thing to do on a time. If you're not if this isn't timed, you could go to TikiWiki's GitHub or GitLab, whatever they use, download all of them. Oh, it looks like you finally got the version. But
nice.
Download all of them and then hash all like the JavaScript files because those may change. And then just look for where those two JavaScript things go in. Oh, I saw 21.
I did too. His search exploit output might have something to latch onto.
CMS group or authentication bypass.
Heck yeah.
So let's see.
What a nice banner. Question is, will this be a Python 2 exploit or a Python 3 exploit?
See? Yeah, that is always the pain.
Yeah.
And it's getting tougher and tougher for Python 2 things to work. It's relatively tough now to install Python 2 on a modern Linux and have pip and everything working.
Yes.
It's going away. And we have, one flag solved.
Oh, did you see that point breakdown? It looks like we have.
It was 1,000 to 650. So it looks like MyDonut's team is going to be taking it, is my guess. We got to be getting close to the end. I didn't see the time left.
I think it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds left or so.
So he's still trying this TikiWiki bypass. And again, a lot of this, now he's just editing the URL to go to the correct thing and also putting it to burp so we can actually see the output, because it's you could import PDB and step through the Python debugger to go through it. But I mean, Burp Suite is faster. So I like going over to Burp Suite. I do that a lot in my videos of let's run this exploit, but put it through Burp. So we have logs of what we're doing. And also we can examine it before, because again, we just pulled this exploit off the internet. The worst thing that it could do is troll us and just screw things up.
I like that HTTP proxy environment variable prefix though. That makes it super easy.
I think it was log on, not log in.
You might be right.
Let's see. Let's go over to MyDonut, see what he's doing. And he is looking at Grab CMS. So I think TikiWiki and Grab CMS are all in the same exact box. And they're just both trying to attack this box differently, which is pretty cool and amazing that again, they know what it is. They see the exploit, but it looks like they're kind of running at a wall. And we're looking at his screen and it's kind of just stopped. You can tell he's in some type of thought process. And now he's looking at journal CTL. I don't know exactly what his thought process here is looking at.
Well, he's got a listener up and ready, so he must be trying to piece together something. Is he using journal CTL to watch to see if one service or some process has started to call back to him, maybe?
Yeah, he may be. This journal CTL is probably on his box, and he's using it to analyze what is happening, I think. This may tell you maybe it's pspy and will show when things are opened. One of the things I do defensively is when I'm exploiting an app, I run pspy to see if it even executed it. If you run a command injection, you don't get the netcat thing, but pspy shows netcat ran. You know where you're halfway there. Again, it's all about finding all the potential places and troubleshooting to find out where you are.
PSpy is super handy for that.
Yeah, and it also shows file system events. It like hooks into the inode
awesome.
table, so you can see when files open and close and get written to. Ooh, he got a shell.
There it is. Dub data. Here we are. Is this it? If he could grab a flag, what does this do to the game?
Well, I think he's on the winning team.
Ahead. Yeah.
This may be the flag they already have, though.
That's true.
One of the things, like, if this is that second box where they have the user flag, you should always get, like, a second shell. Because a lot of times when, at least in these, if John's on my machine and he's got 2 shells, I kill John once, I may not think to kill him twice.
Yep. Got another.
If I remove a like SSH key, I'm like, good, I got John's persistent mechanism, but he edited my SSH config, I'm screwed. But it looked like he just got into that box and was waiting for the flags to change so he could submit it again. But the flags didn't, and we do have MyDonut taking the lead, and MyDonut and Szymex will be going into the finals. So I'm going to look at the other players because it looks like they are still in the game. I'm hopping over to Ch4rm Screen. Let's look at Hojan real quick. CSV tool. I have... Oh, is that making a CSV? Okay, that's a GTFO bin probably. Let's look over at Enox. What's he doing? Let's see, he's looking at web configs. Ch4rm
immediately sticking out there, yeah.
Is looking at both the... Oh, he's looking at TikiWiki. So... And this game, this is close. 30 seconds left and like 30-point difference.
Wow.
I think Ch4rm and Hojan were in the lead.
Whichever was on the right side. So yes, that would have been Ch4rm and Hojan if we're looking from the other perspective.
But yeah, that was, again.
Wow. What a tight race. I don't think at that point in the game, there's a whole lot of hope.
Yes. 30 seconds left.
It's not soccer, you know.
Well, it's 30 points. Like one solve is like there is last second solves.
That's true. They're rare.
Yeah.
But when you come in clutch, like there's no better feeling.
But I think that may be it. So I think Ch4rm and Hojan versus MyDonut and Szymex will be what it is.
The final. Who will come out at the end of the tournament victorious?
And yep, he is clearing his screen. So he got rid of like the Hydra stuff, like deleting all those temp files. So like one of the annoying things could potentially be URAN SQL map and the IP is reused. So it's going through its cache and thinks, oh, I've already ran SQL map against this host and tries things without you knowing. So always like when you're doing these, try to get back to a clean environment back at the beginning. So
yeah, if you're playing again, then you just gotta wipe the clean slate.
Yep. We're going into the third game shortly.
And this is the one. This is the last one. It's for all the bacon.
Yeah. The winner of this gets money and a lot of other things. So
yeah. Do we need to do a quick review of our prizes here? I don't know. Drive up the hype.
I'm sure Roadrunner can chime in and say the prizes. I'm sure I get it wrong if I just went off.
We're just here for the pretty faces, I think.
Yeah. I have so many windows open to switch between these transitions and make sure like all the webcams are in the correct things. Like,
yep.
This is the first time I've actually used 3 monitors. It's normally just I have one that sits there and does nothing. Oh, what is your setup? Do you have 2 or one big wide?
I have 3 currently, yeah. So the camera's over here.
Yeah.
My regular screen is here. So, but there's one other wide one you can kind of see off of the side. So
yeah,
I'm at a 3 little, I don't know, battle station right now.
I see you have a lot of stuff on that third monitor.
Exactly.
So Roadrunner is helping us out. So the final prizes, the first team, each player gets $2,000. And the second place team, each player gets $1,000. It's all USD. And big thanks to Synac for fronting that prize pool. And we also give stuff to all the people in the semifinals. They get a $250 Razer gift card with a 3-month Pro Lab subscription. So tons of prizes. I think, like I said, or you said, I think it was like $7,566 total or something.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I'm not sure if that's counting the 3-month Pro Lab subscription.
I feel like it might.
It may.
Yeah.
See, 2,000, 2,000. Nothing's worse than doing math, but that's probably how we got to the odd 66 number.
Something like 37 cents at the, like the very end.
And then the thing that we're not like taking account is the ability to bypass the weight pool to go onto the Synac Red team.
Absolutely. That's a super good point.
Like the prize pool is awesome. 7,500 something, but like the amount you can make as part of Synac Red team on the side is unlimited, right? Mm-hmm. It's up to you how much you want to do.
I have added the
brackets.
The brackets, yes.
Yep.
All right.
So we're looking at the brackets now. We have MyDonut Sysmex versus Hojan and Ch4rm up next for the finals.
Down to the wire.
Who do you think is going to win, John?
I can't say. You know, it's. There's no way I could put any like bet or thing on this. Like, I've seen Sizzy work, I've seen MyDonut work, and they're insane. Hojan and Ch4rm, though, I know that they're going to be just in it neck and neck, if not more. I think this is really anyone's game. Yeah.
I'm not going to say who I think was win because my first thought was like Snowscan and InfoSecJack would do well. And then I was like, no, Celesian, I guess not them. And now like both of them lost. And people are asking for a 5-minute break. So I think I would say yes.
Yeah. Do a little bio break, you know?
Yeah.
Give us a chance to have a glass of water.
Yeah. I had my coffee poured. I haven't poured my water yet, so I've just been like drinking only coffee.
I can take over if you want.
Do you want to tell us about MyDonut, Sysmex, Hojam, and Ch4rm again? About like a little about them that you know?
Yeah, for sure. I will let you know when they are back.
No, I meant just go like the player introduction again that we did an hour and a half ago,
for sure.
But just for them. For the people just tuning in that have no clue who we're going to be looking at.
One second. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. So on the finals, we have MyDonut and Szymex, as we said.
Szymex, okay.
Of course. MyDonut is a hacker. He is 1,170 days part of H2B, and he has won quite many Battlegrounds tournaments. Szymex is a guru. He is 714 days part of H2B. That player also has been picked because he's one of the top Battlegrounds players. And now we have the stars of the show because Hojan is a hacker battling every else who were like crazy good and many bloods and anything. So amazing on the team. And Ch4rm, who is a pro hacker, and he is 516 days part of H2B. Hojan is 511 days part of H2B. So yeah, it's I believe that tables have turned in this tournament for sure. Nothing is how we expected it to be. We are very happy for everything, to be honest. Of course, it's not just the prizes that you mentioned. It's also everyone will have some unlimited battles for a short time of period as a thank you for everything that you did. And of course, you get Hack the Box swag And of course, many things for everyone participating here, except our hug and our love and everything. And virtual hug, because COVID, that virus. And we have amazing prizes for the rest, which is crazy, actually. The first team will split $2,000. The second team from the finals will split $1,000. And then from the semifinals, everyone that participated, so that means Celesian and JazzPizazz, MyDonut and Zymex, Ch4rm, Enox, Hodgen, and Ch4rm will get also a $250 Razer gift card and a 3-month Pro subscription each. So, of course, and a gift card, a $250 gift card each. So it's actually very exciting. And of course, if you don't want Razer or they want something else also, but if you don't want Razer, you can always send to me. But yes, you can always get an Amazon gift card if it doesn't deliver to your place or anything. But yeah, I believe the tables have turned. We didn't believe that that was the final round. We know that we have given to all of the players unlimited battles for 2 weeks to train. They have been training nonstop, and actually it's very, very nice. But I didn't believe all those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also we've hyped in and been here quite a while. It is also important to note that you should get outside as well and play and exercise. One of the things that helps me the most when I run into a roadblock, and obviously you can't do it in this tournament because you have 30 minutes, but if I get really frustrated, I'll go out, ride a bike or do some type of physical stimulation to take my mind off it. And when I come back at a fresh slate, it may be super obvious to me. I may have honed in going down a really deep rabbit hole. I'm done. I'm just getting mad at myself right now. So taking that break, going out, socializing, getting your mind off it, and then coming back, it helps tremendously. And you'll notice even if you look at esports, the top video game players and look at their teams, they get forced to do actual go to the gym, which you wouldn't expect.
Oh, really?
Their goal is to sit on a keyboard and figure out ways to win a video game, but they have 2 hours regulated gym time that they have to go and exercise, because if your body's not healthy, your mind isn't going optimal, and there's something to be said about just being healthy helps you so much.
Yeah,
Definitely.
One thing that I would like to share also, it's also that I have this nickname because I'm a road runner, because I was a marathon runner, and I'm not a marathon runner now. I don't have that much of a time. But I think running is actually because I was always behind a computer my whole life through my studies, when I was studying, everything. And even if you don't feel comfortable socializing, because we do have that sometimes in the industry, I don't want to have a stereotype, but that's happening. So running, it actually really much helped me to let go a lot of stuff. So first of all, to think, to calm down, to take some time to process some stuff, and you can get some very nice music on, and it's just you on the road. And it's better also to do it on the street or in the woods or something, because actually it's very refreshing, and to see other people or be in the nature. And one thing that actually have seen is that actually increases serotonin in your brain, so you actually feel happier. So if you feel down or stressed or something doesn't work, or during my exams, or when I'm doing a lab or something, if I am really frustrated and the exploit is not working, and I'm beating the and I'm so down, I'm no, I will take a breather, I will maybe go for a run or something, and I will come back. And it's always, always helping. So yes, because I was very mad that one day, I started running and running and running. That's how this nickname came out. But yeah, mental health is the most amazing, is one of the factors that we should always try to protect and socialize. And that's why I have our amazing Discord. In order, if you don't want to socialize in real life, you can always socialize. We have almost 80,000 there. So you do have some people there to speak to. And actually, I have to say with their Discord team, I feel that I have kind of a family because we have always been there with each other. We talk, we have fun, we advise each other, we discuss about hacking, we discuss about HTTP, we discuss about life, and it's so cool because you get to meet so many different personalities and so many different people and cultures and countries and learn what they're doing and hear the struggles. So it actually gives you also a reality check. So it's very good. Yeah.
How about you, John?
This tournament, I thought I loved Cyber Mayhem, but this tournament is like, it's blew my mind. Like seriously.
So do you have any favorite exercises, John, or what do you do when you get frustrated?
I do the same kind of as you mentioned, just step away, just get away from the keyboard. It's easy because we have dogs, right? Just go take the dogs out for a walk. We've been trying to do some camping a little bit of hiking every now and again.
Yeah, you upset me when you went camping at a campground that was 1 mile away from my house.
I know.
Didn't send the invite.
I didn't know you were so close. But now that we know and we're planning like, hey, man, we should hang out. Let's get together. We'll get the whole InfoSec party. And that should be a ton of fun. And we'll do some camping together. But no, I agree. Just step away. Even if it's like 15 minutes to pace around your house, like just step away from the keyboard, get your eyes off the screen for a bit. That seriously can help pull you out of a rabbit hole or just reset, like mentally reset.
So have we sent the players the codes for the finals?
No, not yet. They have not come back yet. We give them a little bit of a breather. Oh my God. Like how guys, like, because you're streamers all the time, I have a question. So now that you're streamers and you do it that very often, how do you handle first of all, the anxiety of being public and not just showing your face, but not to mess this? And how do you handle to be live stream hacking? How do you handle that?
I think not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, like I'll just be talking to myself like as I work. And once I get into the problem and my mindset goes onto the problem, I'm not thinking about the chat or live stream or failing or doing anything stupid. Like I'm very single threaded. So I think that is helpful. Like,
yeah.
What about John?
I don't know. I like to show people or do what I can in kind of my videos, that I like to keep it just like the raw, genuine, like here's long form, everything that happens, everything that goes on. And maybe I guess how I put up with it if things go wrong is just like, I just don't care if I like.
I think it goes back to like the beginning where in order to be a hacker, you have to redefine what failure is.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
like,
you put it in a really good way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the $1 million question, but that I believe everyone is thinking now. So what is the funniest or the most awkward thing that have happened to you during live stream or presenting or anything? Even if it's a Hangouts call with in your team or anything, like what is the funniest thing and the most embarrassing one?
I don't know. I think we got a good story from me accidentally going live yesterday. I know IppSec was giving me some trouble for that.
But what happened? Were you sleeping and you went live? So they watched you sleeping? Because that would be totally funny.
Honestly, that one, I don't think is really all that bad. I don't know if it takes the cake for like most embarrassing because it was just kind of funny. I was trying to take a picture for like a thumbnail because I was releasing one of the Hack the Box Cyber Apocalypse videos, and I put the camera kind of in front of the monitor, so it was a little bit more on me, and I couldn't see when I went to go click like start recording. Because if I'm taking a picture myself, I'll try to record a video so that I can like take a screenshot of a frame that, okay, that looks like a decent picture. I apparently, unknowingly, completely accidentally clicked the start streaming button. And I just kind of like went live, like smiling at my camera, like trying to pose for a picture, having no idea that I was just weird silence of me seducing whatever computer screen in front of me. And there's like 14 minutes 14 minutes of me awkwardly not even knowing that I'm live on the internet. goofing
Yeah,
off.
and I'm trying to use OBS, right, to record.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's for me.
I am showing you. Well, John can't see it. Well, we may see it in 2 minutes if he looks.
2 minutes. I'll wait.
But let's see. Let's transition. I hope I don't show anything embarrassing and create that story right now. So this is the bottom pane of OBS. I try to show you the top, but it would probably not go well because of all the effect. Like these windows would just go crazy because it's a window in a window. But you can see on the right side, streaming and recording literally next to each other.
Why?
One button does to the internet, one does to your hard drive.
I thought it used to be safe because like YouTube, in the live studio for YouTube, it has like preview connection to like make sure your quality is everything, and then you can click within YouTube Studio to go live, like intentionally, purposefully. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, I've done similar things.
Yeah, my most embarrassing is actually embarrassing. Well, I was in a call and some friends also were visiting. But in HTB, because now that everything has gone virtual, we put also a camera on. My friends didn't know. So there you see my friend. I don't know if she watches right now. Her name is Tatiana. So she walks out from the bathroom with a towel, and she's walking past behind me, and I'm in a call with 6 men or something. And I'm like, and I was like, did anyone see that? And everyone was like, yeah, okay, mortified.
Right.
Yeah, that happens. And the other bad thing that has happened at work is when, no, I will not say that. Maybe at the next tournament, because it's actually too embarrassing. I had to, no, let's leave it. So guys, let me check now how everyone is doing. Okay. Let me see if they are ready.
Yeah, I think for me, it goes back like 9 years probably, before Twitch was even a thing. It was probably on Ustream, now that I think about it. Streaming like a 76-hour event for a video game for charity. And I found out I can't stay up 76 hours straight. So.
Fall asleep on stream, is that it?
Yeah, for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, after 48 hours also is sleep deprivation. A lot of just embarrassing things are said.
Right. Yeah,
Thankfully,
I don't doubt that.
The VOD is gone. But it is the internet, so it wouldn't surprise me if it showed up somehow. But
somewhere.
I'm just confirming that everyone is ready in order to give them the code for the final.
Okay.
And yeah.
And then also the slightly embarrassing thing is I was trying to clean up my display from showing the bottom screen of OBS and erased the wrong thing and deleted the player screen. So hopefully I got that fixed. We'll find out when the game launches.
That's the danger in doing it live.
Yep.
But hey, we're all real people. We keep it genuine. So
I think I gave Roadrunner a heart attack yesterday or 2 days ago. She's like, do you want to do any prep and just talk about things you're going to say? Not really, no. I kind of just want to I want to hit these buttons, say some things, and if I say something embarrassing, just move on quickly and hope people didn't pick up on it.
Yeah, he gave me a true heart attack. I was like, let's do some tests, like I have everything planned, and a Asana cards, and like, don't need it. Casual, yeah. Just, and I'm like, panicking there, like anxiety mode on, like...
The more I think about it, the more I'll think about what I want to say. And then that's when like I start questioning myself. It's like, I want to go with my gut reaction because my gut is normally correct.
I think that's a super cool conversation to have with like content creators or whatever, but like, especially you, Ipp, and like you and I, and that like our videos are just raw off the cuff.
Yeah.
We're so used to complete improv all the time that like, yeah, sure, events or presentations and shows, when normal people ask like, oh, do you want to do like an hour test call to like figure stuff out? I'm like, no, we don't need to. We can just wing it.
Yeah.
I just gave the codes.
Okay. So the game will probably start in like 5 minutes probably.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're like, do we want to do like a big test an hour and a half before the stream? Huh? We just test mics. Let's test levels. Let's do it like 30 minutes before. Like,
it's cool.
Oh my God. Yeah. But that's okay. That's okay.
I guess it's totally not normal for regular people that, I don't know.
I will say I love the unintended benefits. Like the biggest unintended benefit is like IppSec.rocks and me figuring out, oh, I can do this timestamp thing and make a website around it.
Yeah.
My second favorite unintended benefit of videos I found out just recently. My dog has big separation anxiety. He hates the crate when we leave. But I can just put my YouTube video on because she's used to sleeping like under my keyboard.
That's genius.
Parenting 101.
I never thought of that for my dog.
I think it worked. We tried it. My girlfriend came up with the idea yesterday. She's like, why don't you just put your video on? Like, we're doing silly shows like Gilmore Girls and things like that the dogs seem to like. And like, wait, I'm talking in front of a camera and typing. And she's used to sleeping under my desk. So, yeah.
Thousands of hours of my voice. That's so funny.
Like
I have to try
some
that.
people cannot sleep if they do not have a sound or something. Your dog can have like an Alexa or something playing your videos on loop.
Yeah, it started with like me thinking, I'm really against like a webcam in the house, but like I wouldn't mind like having a webcam point at the dog so I can say calm down and things.
Yeah.
And like, oh no, why don't you just put your video on? Oh, that's a lot simpler.
Hack the dog.
Hack the dog.
And now John's going to go try that today.
Yeah.
Dog hound. They must be starting. So I believe I will leave you now in order to continue your stream. Bye, guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Let's see this. So we're about to find out if I did this correct.
I'll have to wait 2 minutes, but
I think I did.
Cool.
It's okay. I will stay here for 2 minutes, like freeze.
I think the game is starting. So
yeah,
boom.
Who should we jump into?
I am looking at MyDonut Screen right now. At least he's waiting to connect to the VPN. So it hasn't started yet, but the game is like on the way to be live. And I think it is good. There may be a little bit black around it, but oh well, we'll live. It's not framed perfectly, but it's not cutting off text, and that's the key thing.
Right.
So we do see on MyDonut, he has a tmux window, and then he also has a tab that just has MSF for Metasploit. And again, just spamming that VPN. And I do this constantly because, again, like I have a habit of always typing 10.10.14.2. So the first person to connect to VPN gets that address. So if I don't have that address and you play against me, chances are you'll get a shell on 9001.
That's hilarious. He's literally just Control-Cing and rerunning that command over and over.
Yes.
Got to be the first.
Yeah, got to be fast.
How's Sizzy look? Or
Zymex. We've been saying that wrong the whole time.
I will forever say it wrong. Unknowingly.
Yeah, so the system is configuring networks. This is what it looks. And if you're playing Cyber Mayhem, you would have really cool sound going on. And you'd also have like the countdown, say when the battle's starting. And Zymex somehow knowing exactly when I go on his screen saying, hello, I'm guessing. I don't know if Hemlo is a different language. Earlier before this call, there was an embarrassing thing of Roadrunner and be like, do you know any Italian? I'm like, amor? Nope, not Italian.
We gave it like 2 seconds of awkward. Is that? That's not.
The key is to be confident.
That's exactly right. Everything we've been saying.
So looking at other players, I am going to
Ch4rm
Hojan, still deploying. Let's go over to, I was looking at Ch4rm, I think.
Hojan is ready with the terminals.
Wow. 443, 1336, is that? 1337. And a lot of choppiness from the stream.
Look at these are designated reverse user, reverse root.
Oh, yeah.
Root 1 and 2. That's super cool.
Except John would just use his fancy PwnCat that does that for him.
We're working on PwnCat. We've been trying to get some Windows implementation in, and we're working on the platforms branch so you can have multi sessions. It's been fun.
So we do have the game starting. There are 4 boxes this time. So remember, it's going to be 2 new boxes that they haven't seen before, and then 2 repeat boxes. And some teams may have compromised it, some may have not. So this is the wild card for the finals.
That is a little bit of a game changer, honestly, because hey, if you run into a box that you were able to get into earlier, or you weren't, okay, that's going to be a little bit of an upset. Do you think players will go for these new machines that are in play, or will they kind of go back to the devil they know versus the devil they don't?
I would say devil they don't know. We see one person already having a interpreter shell.
Damn.
So he's compromised this before. I don't know exactly what box that was. I didn't catch what the command was, but yeah, go what you want, patch really quick. But he is getting the flag. Let's see if he actually gets in before the player hardens the sudo. So he's dropping to a shell now in his interpreter. Sudo-L. He sees CSV tool. There is a wild card, so it hasn't been hardened yet. He can put user input in that. Does he know exactly what it is already? Is he going to go to GTFO bin? Is this custom? I don't know. Curl setup. So I think, he did not get root yet. So he has this setup.sh script. So once he gets root, he runs that and it puts his backdoor in. Oh, he runs this and it's just automatically going to keep giving him the flag to this output. So the flags do change every 5 minutes. So as long as he's running this from a user priv, if he gets kicked off the box and the flag change, if he doesn't get kicked off, if his shell dies, but this process doesn't die, he'll still get the flag when it rotates. So this is, again, getting multiple instances on that box. So that's really cool. He's not poking at that CSV tool anymore. And I think I would have, because I saw a wildcard. And whenever I see wildcards in the sudoers file, that's bad news bear. And
right.
I don't know if I would be doing this. He is going to submit the flag, letting teams know he is on that box.
That's quick.
Yeah.
Let's see if he gets booted out.
If you want someone to go, he's just stopped. He's okay, I'll get off the box. He may be focusing on something else. He doesn't want words.
This tunnel right here. He's at least got that user flag that will rotate, and that's just constantly just being poured back out to him.
Yeah. So
genius.
He gets off the box, and I guess he's you know what? I don't need root. I'm going to go to the next box. There's 4 boxes here. So I don't want to spend any time going down this root rabbit hole. Instead, I'm going to get off this box and make you hunt for me and waste your time while I look at something else.
Honestly, that's awesome because he's spreading out. He's distributing, hey, I'm not relying on one box. I don't have all my eggs in one basket, because if that gets patched, all right, now all bets are off. But if you've got a little bit of coverage, a little bit of ownership on those other machines, you don't have that dependency.
Yeah, and now he's going back to the box and hurting the PHP info. He turned off RFI, I think. So let's go over to MyDonut and see what he's doing. Are they doing defensive things, hunting for this? Are they going to find that flag that just keeps getting outputted? There is a Wireshark. So
yeah, I see a lot of PCAP files, text files that they might be trying to keep track of. Hey, what actually happened on that victim here?
Yeah. So he is going to go, this will be fun. He's going in Wireshark. Let's see if he knows the filter right off the top to know how to get the flag. He's searching for HTTP. And this is probably this system thing. That was probably Metasploit. So let's see if he finds, he's just searching for HTTP though. So he's not going to see this continual netcat outputting the flag.
What's the best way to kind of track that down? Wireshark might not be the best bet, but PSpy?
I would probably do Wireshark, but I don't know the syntax off the top of my head to search for a string. I would probably strings everything and look for the flag. I know he submitted opflag.txt. I have pcaps, so I'd probably strings all my pcaps for that string and find where it exists. And I'll be like, what? Why do I see this string 10 times? then I know something's up, right? That's the downside to using like Netcat without the SSL option. Like Netcat supports encryption, and if you did that, then that strings command will no longer show it because it'll be encrypted. So it stops that. But again, it puts in a bit more difficulty. And we see him typoing our post instead of our host.
Is he going to see it? Got it.
Our port. There we go. So he's trying Metasploit as well. We'll see if that box has been patched yet. We did see 2 of the user flags for one team and 1 user flag for the other team. So they did go for what they knew first. And we
got to play it safe this early on in the game, right?
300 to 200 points. So let's go over to Zymex.
Let's do it. So
he is in Visual Studio Code, it looks like.
With a base 64 YAML file? Looks like, okay, is this going to end up being some like YAML deserialization or YAML injection?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what this is, but is this the Jupyter book maybe? Does Jupyter do YAML?
I am not 1,000% certain, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it likely does. Looks like he has got sub-process set up, so some Python syntax, base 64, so that thing will actually behave well with any other characters. Setting up a listener, let's see if this thing is going to end up being executed and gets him a callback.
Yeah, and maybe that's what the timeout was. Maybe if I had a 5-minute break between this, I may have been looking through notes and trying to figure out exactly what to do. We see both those teams getting the user flag again. So people,
right away.
This is like a common thing probably where they just set up, get the user right away. I personally, because I think it's at like every 5 minutes, I'd wait till like 26 minutes to submit everything and try to get root. But that's me. I'd go down that path. I wouldn't try to spread my load. I'd try to just go as deep, get root on the box, because that's when I can install my rootkits, and generally, that's when my persistence begins. I don't have many good techniques off the top of my head to persist as a user. So that's pretty cool seeing the one person be like, you know what? Let's just do this userland persistence. We'll throw a process in the background, and I'll be happy with that.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
CNA internal server error when he's trying some base64 encoded data here for the decoded YAML file.
Looking at /debug. I don't know what port 5000 is, but he is definitely trying this YAML.
It's a good lead. If YAML were like something that he could latch onto, that will go ahead and give you like code execution. You'll have the power of Python.
Yeah, so he's in CyberChef right now, probably going to... I'm guessing he's using this to verify his YAML is good. Because CyberChef will just say, hey, this is like invalid base64, invalid YAML, you screwed up, like forgot a colon.
Right.
Maybe that's what he was going for, but we're still getting error messages. So it's potential that the team was quick to patch this one box, or maybe it's not vulnerable this way. So let's go over, I'm going to look at Ch4rm and Hojan, see if they're doing anything interesting. There are a lot of panes open on Ch4rm.
You're jumping into Ch4rm? All right.
He's off that. He's doing /login.sh2. So this lets him get in the machine. So maybe he's going to be, let's see. He's looking at 1.
Login 1.
So 1 is one of the new boxes, I think. So he's logging in. He's not doing the incident response. He is logging into Elena, I think. And I'm guessing he has some like magic API that's just pulling the password off the clipboard. So that's how he's working that angle. So he's going to port 5000, internal API. So this is not going to be Jupyter, I don't think, unless Jupyter hosts a web server. But I'm guessing this is one of the new boxes. And we're going to see index.py, and this is why he was doing
the YAML.
So if you're looking at code, I mean, this is only like a 20-line file, but YAML.unsafe to user input.
Looks like a door to me.
So this is what they're going to be looking at. So let's see. Easy peasy shell.
Ooh, have you heard of that thing? That's new to me.
It's new to me. I wonder if this is his stuff or...
Yep, Hodgen. The GitHub was his own.
So
He tried
that's
to
a
get
cool
pulled
thing.
down.
I wonder what he's using for easy peasy shell. We're going to see this live. See if we can figure out what it does.
Payloads if they're available. Python 3, Bash.
So it looks like a
different
Python
languages.
like reverse shell generator. And does it have YAML built in? No.
Ooh, looks like he's missing kind of a builder file. He's trying to determine what his own shell.txt might be.
Let's see what he does. Google. So he's looking for a write-up. Like, this is one of the key things. Like, whenever like you do all these challenges and you're like, how did I do this again? Let's look for the write-up real quick. So,
And that's why I love it, because you call back and you're like, oh, I know I did this on whatever war game practice website. You think back, you're like, oh, I've done this before. I didn't take that great notes, but I remember the name of this box or remember the name of this task, so I could track it down.
So now he's got this basic notes from a box he did, and he's pulling a Python one-liner from this. So this looks like it could be magic YAML.
It's worth a try. Now he's got to go ahead and encode the thing in base 64.
Yep. We'll see if he remembers to base 64 encode it. So he's curling. So he's going to do this in curl. He's not going to be using Burp Suite. And I generally would do Burp Suite just again because I don't know if it's going to do some type of magical URL encoding. So TCP dump. So he's starting off with, it looked like he was going to start with ping because he did a TCP dump looking for ICMP.
Yeah.
But there you go. He's changing his payload. So
will he remember to base 64 encode it?
Yeah, that's the key. And
he's listening in.
I love doing ping first because almost always ping is going to be on the box. And again, he's doing something else. And I'm not a huge fan of this, but he is putting IFS to put spaces in. However, that is a complication where it could break something. He could get lucky and just need it. Maybe he saw the code and knows he can't have spaces. But again, it's one of those things where it may lead you into an issue. And he had an issue because Bash was interpreting that $sign. So he could have already ran with the spaces and just been fine instead of going into this repeater window and now taking an extra like 45 seconds to get this set up.
I side with you here. I think that might be a good thing to do, but I wouldn't try it first. I think I would have started with kind of the simple baby stuff to begin with.
Yeah.
Before pulling out IFS and other variable things we could use.
Yeah, that could be like a unique edge case that was in the CTF he did. But I mean, there's been boxes where that IFS thing doesn't work for me. And I've had to do like bypass the space thing a different way or not use any of them, and spaces were fine to begin with. The video that's going live in like 40 minutes, you'll find like a Bash reverse shell that did base 64 encoding, and it broke. And me and OXDF were trying to figure out exactly why it broke. He just decided to go for a simpler reverse shell using curl and then pipe. But it was actually because it was passing base 64 in a URL, which then turned the space into a plus, the plus into a space and broke base 64. So I went into CyberChef and changed the payload slightly to get rid of that plus, and then the reverse shell worked. But again, there's just all those small things that can go wrong when trying to build a payload. And I generally start simple first. He just got a passwd file, it looked like. I don't know if he pasted that or maybe his shell just gave it to him. Let's see. He's grabbing Python. There you go.
He's got a callback.
I thought he was still trying
that shell.
So he's using script-qc. This is very similar to the Python-c import PTY. It's just using script to do it. So he upgraded his PTY. He's got the user flag. He's going to submit it.
And the game has changed here. Let's see.
And I think, again, I would wait a minute or two to see if I can get a quick root shell before letting people know I'm on the box. But we can see there was the YAML payload he used to load it. And we haven't seen him do like a sudo-l, but maybe.
Yeah, that would be the quickest thing I do. Hey, if there are any sudo rules that let me escalate here?
Yeah, it's possible he did this already on his own box, so he knows what it should be like. But again, he doesn't know what people have changed. So let's see. YAML.
Is he going to try and get himself another shell? Another callback?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. Maybe this
The
is
bang bang would have been for the previous command ran, but that might get super weird inside of a subshell.
Yeah. So now he's going to curl probably his own box to set up his userland persistence. Is what I'm guessing he's doing. He's catting flag.txt again. Oh, the flag's changed.
Different flag.
Yeah. So it must have been 5
see.
minutes. So flag's changed.
Gotcha. Just on the right side of the minute.
Yep. So he's submitting the flag. And he's submitting the other flag from his persistent script. And because he's getting this flag every like 5 seconds or however long it is, he knows when the flag's changed because he just goes in that tmux pane and is like, oh, that's now outputting a new flag. I think the only thing I would change in his script, instead of just saying no root flag, I would also give the IP address. That way, if I have multiple things calling back to me, I know which one it is.
Absolutely.
So he's still looking at YAML deserialization. And I think the shell we saw him get was he saw the flags change and he got a shell on a box previously. I have to go back at the scoreboard to look, but I'm just kind of curious. Maybe his teammate sent him the shell and he has like the persistent script to set up. I just don't see where that shell came from.
No, I agree, because it wasn't with the YAML technique just yet.
Yeah, it looked like he was working on YAML, got a shell, so I just assumed I missed something, but he's still on YAML. So I think the flags changed and he was just re-getting his persistence. Or maybe they reverted a box.
I don't want to be wrong here, and maybe I am, but I'm still really feeling that they need that base 64 encoding for that YAML parameter to actually get through. So this is painful to watch. This one kind of hurts to see. Where like you can make all this progress, but you're still missing that base 64.
Yeah, and that would also get rid of all these bad characters, right?
Right.
Like, he doesn't need to worry about the IFS. Maybe he did the IFS because he's using curl and he can't do plus because curl would encode it. That could be why he switched to IFS. But again, if he just did base 64, he wouldn't have that issue. Well, there's like 1/8% chance he does have the issue if base 64 puts that plus in or whatever the percentage is, but much higher than 8. So he is on. Oh, so he's on his own box right now. I'm going to switch over to Donut. I think Donut was also looking at this YAML deserialization.
Oh, I remember. You're right.
Was that the Donut or Zymex? So let's see what he is doing. Cat dumps 10, 10, 10.
I think maybe these are the P caps and what they're doing again before, just kind of carved out.
Let's look at Zymex. Is Zymex doing anything? And he's doing the YAML stuff. So we got this internal server error. He's got this base 64. And let's see. It is really hard to see his screen with this transparency.
Yeah.
Let's see. YAML unsafe. And load.
Now he's got the base 64 right, but there's something else in the syntax that just isn't evaluating the way that he needs it to.
Yeah, if only these two players were on a team together, he's like, I know the base 64. I know the payload. Like, if their forces combined, they may get it. I don't see the payload he's using, but when he was generating it, he was in like Visual Studio Code writing it. He wasn't going through his notes and doing it from a previous thing, right? So.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've done this one. Like, I think if I went to ipsoc.rocks and typed YAML unsafe, I wouldn't find anything, which that needs to change soon.
We have a Python YAML injection or kind of a abuse technique here that we've done for NomCon CTF, one of the recent capture the flags that I put on.
Nice.
If you Google around that write-up...
It is always tough to look through write-ups and going to Google when you know you have 30 minutes, because that can be a weird rabbit hole. We also see in his tabs, he's looking for a GDB server exploit. So maybe GDB is also listening on a port, and that's a different way into the box, or maybe it's a different box, but he was looking at that. So again, he's looking at many vectors to get into this, and now he's not doing anything, which leads me to believe he's got another monitor, and he's looking at Google to try to figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. I can't stress enough like how much having two monitors helps. Like hacking on one, Chrome on the other, looking for Google. Like You could do it in your Kali VM or your Parrot VM, whatever VM you want, Ubuntu, Arc, or Windows VM. However, it may be configured to go through burp and is a pain to keep switching between proxy and not proxy.
Definitely.
So let's.
I think the last I saw the score, I think it was close between 1,600 and 1,400 maybe?
Yeah. 1,500 and 1,700.
Oh boy. Okay. So Hojin and Ch4rm have now taken the lead, it looks like.
Yep. And it's probably all going to come down to who finds a way into the new box first. It looks like both teams have hardened the other boxes sufficiently. I mean, they kind of just gave up, like, you know what? We both have user. Let's just have a gentleman's agreement and say, new box time. Maybe not. He is looking at Twig. So, yeah, I see Grapple still. Let's see.
Now, they had not been able to use that technique in the previous round, I don't think. Did they get that to work?
No, I did not see anyone get it to work. I saw someone confirm it by doing like double brackets and then some math, but I did not see anyone actually get code execution from SSTI.
Well, we're down to the wire. I think just under 10 minutes left. It's anyone's game still.
Yeah. Twig Basic, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Both teams have user flag on the machines they have seen. Neither team has root. I haven't seen like a root flag at all this whole tournament.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's, again, just 30 minutes. I mean, I guess they view user as easy. And that's one of the things.
If you're
like,
playing smart.
A lot of people, like, because CTFs favor web, a lot of people just have a lot more experience with web stuff. And they may get lost at doing shell. And once they get the shell, what do? That is like a wide topic. The PrivS could be a weird Docker thing. It could be like anything. So it's a whole nother game. And for the people that like do a lot of bug bounties, they may just stress on web because a lot of like shell stuff is out of scope. We do have a reverse shell landed. Did you see what happened?
I didn't. All of a sudden, Zai just got www data.
Okay.
But he's on that same box with the CVS tool.
Yeah. So
CSV tool. He'll try to PrivS with that, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that would do it, would it not?
Sudo's a terminal required. Oh, he needs to do a TTY check.
He does. Is he going to know? Oh.
He just needs to do, yeah. It's reading error messages. And this is one of the hardest things to do in like videos is just when you're doing this and explaining it and doing it live, you don't always read the error messages. And then when you're watching the video, it becomes so obvious what it was. You're like,
dang. It just needs that upgraded PTY.
Yeah. A terminal is required to read. So he's trying to, this makes sense. Use CSV tool. It creates a CSV, make a CSV out of the root flag.txt. But again, I wonder if he needs to do the import PTY or the script command.
Right. And then sudo would behave because it can read in standard input normally.
Yeah.
Is that sudo a new password? Is that a no password sudo rule?
It may be. Let's see. Sudo -l. I did not see it.
No, I didn't either.
Either way, getting that error message off would be nice.
Right.
Let's see. CSV tool again. Oh. He's got it now. He got Etsy past WD. So now he's going to cat. So I guess maybe he copy and pasted it in real quick. There he goes.
Okay.
He's got the root flag.
Didn't even actually PrivS. Just read the flag.
So now he's going to submit that, and let's see if he takes the lead because of this. What team
will that change the game?
Boom. I think the first root flag of the tournament.
Absolutely.
And that does change it.
2100.
2100 to 2000. It's anyone's game still. One flag difference between the teams.
5 minutes left.
I would be going back to my thing and making sure that sudo thing is not vulnerable on my box.
Absolutely. And whatever he could do now that he does have root on that target box, hey, lock that down and make it your own.
Yeah.
Claim that so they aren't able to patch their own things.
Yep. So
I'm going to go dominance over those rotating flags.
Going over to Ch4rm Screen. Let's see if they're like panicking to figure out exactly what's going on.
Absolutely.
Ch4rm looks like he's still on this Python YAML stuff. Hojan, is he the one tasked with figuring out root, or did they just say let's revert it and call it a day? So what is he doing? See, it's hard to see his screen.
Yeah, it's just a little pixely for me too.
Yep. It doesn't look like he's doing any IR.
They might just be moving on to offense.
Yeah. I mean, they're thinking, well, if the only thing that happens is they'll get points if the flags rotate. The flags may not rotate anymore. It may be that point of the game. So let's just get points and try to go it. And I think both of them are trying this YAML thing. I think I just saw a YAML file.
Looks like
yeah, he's doing it, and they have base 64 now. So
Good.
It wasn't as simple as his previous payload, I'd assume. But he is also using curl to send this. I'm trying to glance through his base 64 to see if he has a plus, because it would be encoded. Doesn't, but still not working. So let's go over to Ch4rm. Is he on the same thing? So again, they're both trying to get this payload working. It looks like Ch4rm, unlike Hojan, is using burp to send these in, but they just can't figure out how to exploit the unsafe load. And both teams can. Again, it's one of these things that if you watch mine or John's video, we'd probably make look super simple. But we're doing the same thing that these players do. You just don't see it, of struggling to figure out exactly what the right Google query is to get the right blog post at the top of the screen so we can show you that.
They're super close, though. This could be a big upset.
I think it's already surprising that like everyone I expected to do super well did not. Like, I don't think if you put these brackets and had fan favorites, I don't think like, I think Snowscan or Celesian would be near the top because those are like the big names that do all the bloods.
Right.
But again, it's a completely different game when you're in a tournament and also blue team is into account.
So it looks like Ch4rm has like a primitive proof of concept to see, hey, will this YAML just come through?
Yeah.
Can I not display only strings, but now potentially get other variables or actual objects in this Python here?
So Python RCE via YAML load. Like, I'd look at YAML unsafe load. That would be like my blog post. Like, I don't care about YAML load. I want unsafe load. Like, that would be the key word. Like, what is unsafe load doing that load doesn't do?
Part of me wonders if at this point, because he has that simple proof of concept, could you just, rather than a string, give it just a simple object like an empty array? And if that displays out to you, hey, now you can start to climb the Python MRO. Like it essentially becomes SSTI at that point.
Yep, here he goes. He's looking at unsafe load. And unsafe load all. So again, going to exploit DB to figure out exactly how to do this exploit. And I think the big thing is, like, I may be doing against my box and not their box because I know what hardening I applied to my box. I don't know what they did to theirs. So maybe their box is like no longer unsafe load and it's safe load. Like, this is a super simple web app. I would probably actually copy the web app to my local machine, run it on localhost, and then do all the exploitation there. Because I have no idea of what the payloads I'm sending to them if it's patched. And I may just be wasting my time. Like, it's nice to know an exploit works. And I think that's the big difference between like CTFs and doing things for like professionally. Is CTFs, you always have the advantage of knowing something is vulnerable. If you spend enough time, you will get that reward. Whereas on a job, you don't have that like guaranteed reward at the end. We do have flags rotating, so they're going to be pasting them in. But one team has a root flag, the other team does not. And I'm curious if this team, Hojan and Ch4rm, looked at the CSV tool at all, or just said, you know what, let's not even bother with the root.
Looks like they didn't have that other tunnel set up for the /opt flag, so that didn't come through, and that shell had died. So I don't know if they can get it back before it's too late.
I'm guessing the box got reverted.
Definitely.
Players can revert boxes. They lose a few points when doing so, but the benefit is the other team doesn't get points. And you can see it looks like they locked them out.
Ended,
yeah.
I think.
Has it?
And Looks
Yep.
like MyDonut and Sizzy wins. Incredible.
Yeah, I believe it's MyDonut, unless it's a big troll and MyDonut doesn't have the donut avatar.
Well, hey, holy crap. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, MyDonut and Zymex.
That is victory. That is the end. And that team triumphs.
And they had a hard time to get to that. They had to beat Snowscan and InfoSecJack, Celesian. I forget who was on Celesian's team. It was not a tough road.
After 3 battles.
Yes. An hour and a half. Well, even longer if you count the break, which he may have been working through between the break.
Absolutely. Put your head down, review your notes, see how else you exploited those blocks that you knew are going to be in the final round. That's how you bring it home, bring it to the end.
Yep. See, MyDonut with 6 flag submissions, Zymex with 2, Ch4rm with 4, Hojan with none.
Wow. What teamwork here.
Yep.
I am sharing live my stream.
Okay. Let's see.
That was for sure intense.
Yes.
What do you think did it? You think it was that root flag at the very end?
I think that root flag. Well,
I think so too.
they also reverted the boxes and patched them at the end.
Yeah.
I think it was a combination of those two things. Like,
Yeah.
That Privesk, though, while it looked like a kind of a stumbling block, we were looking at, oh, hey, the pseudo syntax is going to whine about our PTY. They still pulled it out.
yeah. I'm surprised he didn't try that earlier. Like, we
Yeah.
saw that at the very start. Like, within the first 2 minutes of the round, we saw that CSV tool thing. And, like, if the other team had just edited the suitors file to fix that one flag, like, they would have, like, if they did that and also reverted the machines and patched it so when flags rotated, the other team didn't get it, they probably would have won. Like, I think it really does come down to that one root flag.
GG. Good game, everybody. The chat's going wild. I think the 2-minute delay, they're now just seeing,
Yes.
hey, that's incredible. That's the end. But fantastic work all around.
And I'm inviting now Zymex and to our stream in order to, in the host channel.
Okay. I am copying everyone to this 5-person layout.
Hey, thanks for everyone tuning in. Obviously, we're winding down as we kind of set up the final interview, right? Chatting with the winners, chatting with everybody. And I hope this was awesome. I hope you had just as much fun as I know definitely IppSec and I did.
Yeah.
Whether it's looking at new tools, whether it's looking at different tradecraft, whether it's seeing some cool syntax that folks are using. I really love that tunnel idea of just always sending flags to you so you got the visibility on that. Very, very cool. I hope this was a lot of fun to watch, both like educational and still entertainment for live hacking, for live competitions like this.
Yeah, I can't wait to do more of these. It's a blast.
Do we get to do more of these?
I think so.
Yeah, like I wish we could do it very often. Of course, when we have so many things going on and everything is so hard to organize everything, but it seems that everyone loved it actually, with some amazing comments, raving comments about, first of all, the skills, everything that we learned, actually the fun, also, I believe also the journey to get to the tournament, of the live tournament. So it must be a very nice experience for all of them, but we will hear more of it now. So let's see. Have they joined the host channel? 1 second.
See. When they join, all the webcams are going to go crazy. All my like cropping out. This Google chat is going to
cut in
change.
half on the stream.
This is the one thing I did not take into account for.
stand with us. Stand by, everybody, as we kind of get things put together to bring the winners and everyone in.
Of course. Oh my God. Okay, so they are added. Let's see. Host channel. Okay, we have Szymex. We have MyDonut. Oh my God, that's so amazing.
Are you still going to be able to get audio and everything A-okay?
Ooh, hello.
I'll do the same. Yeah.
Yep.
We can, yeah.
Yep.
MyDonut, Szymex, anyone opening cameras? Please.
Maybe.
Face reveal. Oh my God.
Was revealed a bit ago, but
We'll go ahead and get the stream display set up and everything. So
Yeah, just give us a few seconds. How was it, guys? How was your experience?
pretty stressful, to be honest. Especially the first match with the 18 guys. Expected more, but it was definitely a challenge with the new boxes, especially.
Oh, yes, you were playing, for the first one, you were playing against Snowscan and InfoSecJack. That is...
well, hey, after 3 whole battles there, you have like over 1,000 folks watching. I'm looking at the stream right now. We got 1,166 people hanging out with us. So I hope that's pretty fulfilling. I hope that's super rewarding just to burn through all those boxes and take home the glory.
The amount of people, like when I saw the amount of people watching the stream, was pretty stressful. When I was playing the UHC, like it was 200, 300 people maybe at most.
Yeah, right.
Like this time is
5 times.
It's much more.
Well, hey, you guys did an incredible job. I think we're still waiting on some folks getting the stream A-okay. Roadrunner, do you still kind of have audio with us, or did it disconnect or do something?
No. I
Okay,
can hear you, all of you.
Awesome.
I cannot hear Ip. Of course, you're always here. MyDonut, face reveal?
Nah, forget that.
Well, you have
Not
to.
about
it. Yes, but well, you have to understand that I am the person that is collecting everyone's usernames when we have to do anything for any Battlegrounds. I am the one communicating with you all the time. So when you have funny nicknames, it actually makes my day. So when we were like MyDonut and I saw also the donut, I was like, what point is he trying to make? So I was very surprised, to be honest. Oh, and of course from JazzPizazz that he has a Kim Kardashian photo on Discord and hacked the box and everywhere. And I asked him, will you actually open your camera today? Because we would love to see that. But he said no. But yeah, of course, guys, we understand if you don't want to put some face. We just want you here for the amazing skills. So, MyDonut, any comments from you? How was the first tournament with Snowscan and InfoSecJack?
Stressful. Really stressful. But we were able to pass the box really quickly and it just went really well. So.
Okay, that's nice. And what about the next with Celesian and JazzPizazz, which you defeated some people from the A team and then some from the Birds Aren't Real, so that's good. Oh, which team also are you in?
Hackbox team.
Okay, so how was the next round with Celesian and JazzPizazz?
The round with Celesian, the machines were pretty since they were pretty new, it was still we had to look, and I think you saw that we only got root flag, the user flags. They patched the machines pretty well, but yeah, we're still able to hold the fort with user flags.
Okay, and also, what did you think of the machines? Did you see the difficulty going up? Like at first they were more easy, and then they were more easy to medium, and then there were medium machines, the new ones, and then the others that we random picked from that were previously played. Also, they were kind of good. Did you show this difficulty, this progression of the machines?
It did feel like the difficulty was increasing. Partially it was from the boxes, partially it was from the opposite team playing, because different skills with patching were also going into division. So, like, in the first one, we are able to get root, and the other one, we are able to at least get user. But with the new boxes on the last match, we didn't even gain foothold on those, only with the older machines.
Oh my God, yeah. And how many hours have you spent playing Battlegrounds? The past 2 weeks that we invited you and everything.
I cut out for a second.
I cut out. How many hours have you playing Battlegrounds during this week in order to prepare?
During this week, I think there weren't that many matches this week, mostly because of other things I had to do. We played a good amount of them the week before, with others participating in the tournament today. It was a pretty fun experience, even though we knew most of the machines. It's still fun to play with others when there are people patching.
So I have to ask, in the finals, you saw the CSV tool on the suitors, one of you, I'm not sure which one, really quick, but you never went for the root flag. I don't think you did. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was the CSV tool, and you did like /root/flag.txt because it had a star in it. I was just wondering, like, was your game plan more of let's not focus on roots and try to get users everywhere, or?
So the plan was getting as many points as possible. Like user, keeping a persistent shell as user is definitely helpful with that. But if the premise is mostly patched, then sometimes I don't like to try to focus on getting a full root shell, and it's more effective to just try to find a hole in the patch the other team put into to at least try to fetch the flag.
That makes sense.
I want to thank also some of the comments that I see here. Marina, thank you very much from the UHC tournament. Thank you very much for the amazing comments. Actually had amazing comments for the whole tournament. How, now that everything has ended, how do you feel, first of all, that you have been added in Synac Redim? Am I cut again?
What was the question again?
How do you feel that you have been added to Synac Redim?
Oh, I don't know what to how to feel about it. I think I heard about it before, but I don't know. Like, I'll definitely need to look up what it is exactly. Heard some nice things, but yeah, I didn't really look into it before.
Do you have any plans for the prize pool money? I think you get like $2,000 now, both you and Donut.
Maybe in this times I'll finally be able to afford a GPU.
Affording it is not the question. Finding one that is for sale is. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Also, I see now that we are announcing the winners from the giveaway. Now, live on chat, the ones that won the VIP Plus by doing questions in order to not be just a plain giveaway. And would you guys, after this experience, think to participate in another tournament in the future? Oh, against IppSec and John Hammond. The ultimate battle.
I don't know if I'll be playing in the next one, possibly, but I don't know if I'll be focusing on like winning.
Okay.
It gets tiring, but I would definitely be looking forward to if I was going to play against, I don't know, IppSec and John. That would be an interesting thing to do.
Everyone keeps saying like you got to pit John and IppSec against each other, but I'm like, no, we need to team up.
Yes.
Bring our forces together.
Yeah. That's why I have you also here. We couldn't put one against the other. We had to put you in the same team, Hack the Box one. Yeah. I think that's all from us. We have, so guys, you have won in total Hack the Box swag, ProLabs for 3 months, whatever you want. You have won $250 gift card from Razer or Amazon if you wish to switch it, and $1,000 each. So it's kind of huge. And also, let's say a lot of congrats to the team that you were competing with for the finals, because they have won also, which was Hodgen and Charm, which again, that was like, I was blown away because Hodgen is higher in HTB. And yeah, they won $1,000 both, so that makes $500 each. 250 Razer gift card, 3-month Pro Lab, and 25 swag card. And of course, you all have unlimited Battlegrounds. Yeah.
That's the best feature.
Thank you.
I have one question to both you and Donut, and that is, what do you find the best way to like get your skill up? Like, you're obviously really good on Hack the Box. Like, what has been the best thing for you to get to that level?
For me, it's definitely practice. Whether it be try hack me, hack the box, full hub, whatever. Just keep doing it. Practice and then taking notes is very helpful with growing in the InfoSec field.
Mm-hmm.
Boxes, labs, challenges. Yeah, that sort of thing. That's how I got my skill up in the past 2 years.
And will you play, guys, on tonight's machine?
Still not sure about that.
Of course. Okay. And how did you find out about Hack the Box?
For me, I don't remember. Before I actually started like doing challenges and boxing on Hack the Box, I've had an account for a few months before, but I didn't even touch it. I think I've heard about it from a friend, but started doing Hack the Box in, I think, around summer last year.
Okay. And what about you, MyDonut? How did you find out about us?
Found out on YouTube. Like, I found like IppSec, and I just started watching this, and at some point I did some Hack the Box, like really fun.
Okay. And how did you guys team up for Battlegrounds at first? So how did this hiking couple meet?
Before if someone's tracking the previous tournaments, before I was playing with my Hack the Box teammate Xanten for the first 2 tournaments, and after that he just didn't have time. And I think MyDonut, with the 3rd tournament, he also didn't have a teammate, and we kinda knew each other from Try Hack Me. I guess we just teamed up.
Okay. So that's cool. And have you decided what Pro Lab do you want to check out now that you have won a Pro Lab?
I don't know what about Donut. I probably will get this one with Rasta Labs, the only one I'm missing.
It's the only one you're missing? Nice.
Yeah, I have the other ones prepped.
Have you done APT Labs?
No. That's coming next.
Okay. Because I thought you have done APT Labs and I was like, okay. And what about you, MyDonut? Have you thought what Pro Lab you're going to see next?
Honestly, no idea, since I am currently doing offshore and I also got like another voucher for Rasta Labs, but I don't feel like really confident for like the old lab, so
Yeah.
I might do the first one.
You kind of need to chill now a little.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's all from us, guys. I don't think it's something missing. IppSec, do you want to put a closing note? John, we also want to hear something from you. How was this experience?
Yeah, I'll let John go first and then I'll close it out.
Well, hey, I mean, first of all, congratulations to you guys that, won this whole thing. That's incredible. And you did fantastic work. And I think it's awesome to let everyone see your workflow, not only the successes, but still the mistakes and the mishaps and the stuff that just happens for real when you do this. I think that that needs to be in front of people. So it's awesome that you've been willing to, jump in to the spotlight with 1,000 people watching for 30-minute cram session to see what you can break into. That's awesome. And thank you. Obviously, Hack the Box, IppSec. Thank you guys for letting me come hang out with everyone. This has been an absolute joy, an absolute pleasure, an absolute treat. So thanks again, and I'm excited for the next one. Yeah.
Of course.
So
I'd like to add one thing. Also, I want to give a shout out to the BGE squad for the emotional support.
Heck yeah.
Of course. Thank you very much for supporting the team, guys.
Yeah, I just want to echo what John said and say big congratulations, guys. It's a huge accomplishment what you guys just did.
Yeah.
And it was great watching your screen. I know, like, whenever I stream, and I used to stream like video games constantly, it's always nerve-wracking. I can't imagine how nerve-wracking it is to do this stream, especially like me and John come from the background. We're kind of used to it, but we kind of just threw you to the wolves and you just ran with it and did an amazing job. I imagine it's nerve-wracking, and every time I do a like live tournament, whether it's Sans Net Wars or something, it's like the first 15 minutes, it's always how do I keyboard again? And each match is only 30 minutes, so you got to like minimize that somehow. So good job, and thanks for everyone watching. Big thanks to Synac for sponsoring this tournament. It was a blast, and I hope we can put on many more.
Thank you very much, guys. We will chat on Slack, all of us, not Slack, Discord, as for the after Battleground cheers. And thank you very much for joining. Bye.
Take care.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.